Hey everyone.
Good morning, Vietnam!
I'm going to make him an offer he can't refuse.
Go ahead. Make my day.
I'm sorry, Dave. I'm afraid I can't do that.
Well, nobody's perfect.
What's in the bar?
Why so serious?
We're bad guys. It's what we do.
You're gonna need a bigger potion.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I break your concentration? You're tearing me apart!
Gentlemen, you can't fight in here. This is the war room.
You talking to me?
Welcome to Second Run Reels, the podcast where we don't know how to go 10 minutes without debating The Last Jedi. I'm your host, Jeffrey Janae, with my other hosts, Dale Riley.
Howdy.
And Kenneth White.
Hello.
Along with our special guest of the week, Adam Navarrete.
Hey, how's it going?
This podcast is being brought to you from the second floor of Salzer's Video Store in Ventura, California. As always, the first half of today's episode will dive into some fresh movie news, and later, in our second hour, we will, in the spirit of the newly released Venom movie, directed by Ruben Fleischer, be dissecting our favorite symbiote's first appearance on the big screen, Spider-Man 3, directed by Sam Raimi. How's everyone doing today?
I'm doing pretty good.
I'm doing pretty well. We just came back from school pretty much a couple hours ago from Santa Barbara. What about you, Adam?
I don't know where I'm at. Nah, I'm doing good.
Excellent.
Everyone's doing great.
Yeah,
That's
I was
great.
editing a shitload before I came in, and I totally forgot, so that's why I was a
What
little...
were you editing?
My Godzilla pool party vlog.
Oh,
It's
wow.
looking pretty good.
Doesn't your
Godzilla pool party.
Yeah.
doesn't your anime video come out tomorrow?
It does, yes.
Okay.
You guys be prepared for that.
We'll link that in the description so you guys can watch it.
Yes, so, wait, is that it? Are we going to the next thing?
Yeah, sure. Let's just
Let's
get right into the news.
Get these reels rolling!
Oh god. So disgusting. All right.
Insert news transition here.
News on the mark!
Alright guys, so our first news story of the day is from EmpireOnline.com. Apparently, Netflix has bought the rights to the Chronicles of Narnia and will adapt the series into a mix of TV shows and movies. There's no information on which movie will arrive first or in what order they're going to go in, but they're just announced that they have it now. And this is a quote from Chief Content Officer Ted Sarandos, saying, C.S. Lewis' beloved Chronicles of Narnia stories have resonated with generations of readers around the world. Families have fallen in love with characters like Aslan. Aslan is the lion who died a bunch.
Yeah.
And the entire world of Narnia. And we're thrilled to be their home for years to come. So what do you guys think about that?
Wait, Netflix?
Netflix.
So Netflix is doing Avatar and now Narnia.
Yes.
Oof. Dang.
It's like the first time I've heard this, and Narnia is my childhood. So
Is it?
I'm pretty. Yeah, I've seen the first movie probably like 20 times.
What about the second and third movie?
I didn't see those. But I saw the first one.
It's not your childhood.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I saw all of them. Actually, I saw
care about
half
those
of the
ones.
third one. So the first one was good. The second one was even better. And Voyage of the Dawn Treader is one of the only movies that I have ever walked out of in my entire life.
Wait, I saw the second one. The second one was good.
Yeah, Prince Caspian?
Yeah.
But Voyage of the Dawn Treader, I had to stop midway because it was just so bad.
You know, whenever anyone brings up like the Chronicles of Narnia, for some reason I always think of that Tom Hanks movie, The Golden Compass. Or is it The Golden Compass or something like
Is
that?
Tom Hanks in it?
Wait, you mean the animated one?
It's
With
the one
polar
where
bear?
No,
they're
they
on
made
the-
a live action one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Golden Compass.
Is that Tom Hanks?
It was with the little.
Oh, that was
the
live.
little
I
girl
thought
that
that-
rode polar bear or whatever.
Yeah, it was like CGI.
Oh yeah, never mind. That wasn't Tom Hanks. The Tom Hanks one was
Polar Express.
The Polar Express. The one had a polar bear in it. The other.
You just see Tom Hanks on a polar bear. Or what?
And Tom Hanks plays everyone in Polar Express.
Yeah,
Like he literally has like 6 roles in that movie.
I hate Polar Express.
You
I don't
hate
know about
Polar
you
Express?
guys.
That's
Yeah.
like my favorite.
No, look.
Christmas
Okay. Let me give you context. Like, I have a little cousin I live with, and like for the first part of his childhood, like he was always into trains. Like we literally took him to Thomas conventions. Like it was the creepiest thing. But like even when it wasn't Christmas, he would just watch Polar Express. Like that's all he would watch. I hated that movie so much. Like it grew so old.
But you hate the movie because you've seen it too many times, not because it's a bad movie.
Oh no, it just sucks ass.
Oh.
Yeah, I forgot to mention that. Sorry.
Oh yeah, that clarifies.
I don't like Narnia. I think it's stupid.
I like the goat guy.
Yeah, it's a little wacky at times, but
What about the goat guy?
What was the goat guy?
What's
Mr. Tumnus.
Oh,
Mr.
yeah.
Tumnus.
I was gonna say something way off.
Mr. Thomas, that's his name?
No, Mr. Tumnus.
Oh.
I like that part where he gets all demonic because the song is playing.
Yeah,
that was the only part I liked of the movie.
Didn't James McAvoy play him?
Yeah, he did. It was like one of his like
first
earlier
roles.
roles.
That was James.
Yes, it
Yeah.
was.
I don't even like the movie. I fucking know.
Yeah. And then
it's been years.
Tilda Swinton or whatever her
Yeah,
name is. She
she's
played
in
the
there.
White Witch. And
Oh,
then
yeah.
Liam Neeson was Aslan.
Yeah, he was the fucking lion.
Yeah.
Liam Neeson was lying.
Yeah. Oh,
How did I not know shit?
yeah. Everyone else in the movie is completely unheard of though. But you know their careers. went
Even the
on.
beavers?
Yeah, I don't know. The beavers.
That had beavers.
Yeah, they had talking beavers that like helped
Yeah.
us.
Oh, yeah,
It's like
yeah,
there's
yeah,
a
yeah,
prophecy.
Yeah, they helped them
Go
escape
unknown.
or whatever.
Yeah, it's like
it's really weird.
fuck are there beavers
That
here?
movie was like
They all sound like 80s
Okay,
fucking
actually-
glam rock.
Actually, if I'm being honest, the movie was cool because like I remember as a kid that was just crazy. Like just imagine like going into like
Yeah, dude.
not a closet but whatever. They went into
Wardrobe.
yeah, wardrobe. Just like imagine that, and then like you expect like I don't know. As a kid, I maybe thought like I was into Star Wars and all that, so I thought like it'd be other humanoid people. It's a fucking lion that like greets them, and you just
Yeah.
and it's like you know.
Grab my man.
That part was cool. Like that, the whole fantasy behind it was cool. But I never really liked those movies. They're okay.
Yeah, like the first one was cool. Like I loved the battle at the end.
Yeah.
Like
that
I
was
used to just like watch that whole scene where they just fight at the end, and then the second one was really cool because it was like super dark, and I was like, wow, I'm just a kid and I can watch this. And then
Wait, the second one.
it was Prince Caspian, is where like he's like the ruler of this kingdom, and they're gonna kill him, and he escapes, and then he leads an army to kill his like uncle or something like that.
Okay, I didn't say that at all.
Yeah, it was a cool movie.
I was just thinking
And
of
then-
statues the whole time, but that's the first one, right?
Yeah. So then the third one is Voyage of the Dawn Treader, where it's just like the 2 younger kids go back and their stupid cousin, because like the other 2 are too old to go to Narnia or something like that. And yeah, I don't know what it's about honestly. There's a dragon.
There's a ship, right?
Yeah, it's a boat. But like I stopped watching it like a good maybe 20 minutes in just
missed the
because
best
it was
part?
just like it was hard to watch.
No, at the very end, Jack Sparrow comes on the ship. He's
Wait,
there.
seriously?
Yeah.
Holy
But he's
shit.
pretending to be the Mad Hatter.
Wait,
No.
does Disney own Narnia?
Yeah, Disney owned Narnia.
Okay, so
yeah.
then they could technically just do
I
it.
think
fucking
you cross that
yeah.
over. You just see like, him getting drunk on the beach.
This is kind of a side thing, but do you guys just remember it being like advertised like excessively on Disney Channel? When it was
No.
in
Oh
Narnia?
yeah.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
first
yeah.
one, right?
Yeah.
The first one,
Prince
yeah.
Caspian too. I remember that.
Yeah, I do.
There was like this fight choreography thing they would do. They'd show.
Polar
Yeah.
Express.
Yeah,
Golden
Golden
Compass was advertised a lot. I think when I was a kid, because I vividly remember.
Yeah.
Like I've never seen the movie, but I know like
I don't know anything about that movie.
I can recall the characters in my head, like the polar bear, its armor and everything.
Yeah, like there
So,
were a lot of
yeah.
those movies that were coming around at that time, like the Spiderwick Chronicles and the Golden Compass
I
and
remember
the
that.
Bridge to
Dude,
Terabithia.
Okay,
They were all kind of like
I
the same
wish
thing.
Terabithia.
I still haven't seen any of those movies.
Was my fucking shit. When I
wait,
was
Bridge to
little.
Terabithia. That was.
I
was the one
loved
with
that
the-
movie. It made me cry so much.
I
when
haven't
was a
seen
kid.
it, so no spoilers. I'm meaning to see it. Do you guys have that here?
I think so.
Okay,
We
I'm gonna
probably
rent
do.
it before.
Wait,
we
what was
leave.
that one? Was that the one with the
Remember, there's like they have like an imaginary. What is it, like imaginary forest?
Yeah, dude. It's just like it's so fucking sad. I won't say anything because Jeff.
Oh wait, no. I was thinking of fucking. You guys ever remember Zathura?
Oh,
Zathura?
dude, that
was the Jumanji. Yeah.
That was honestly kind of awesome.
I like the
it was
robot.
good. Yeah,
I like the robot now.
And then they started coming out with like Center of the Earth and all that.
And the Percy Jackson stuff.
We have that too here. If you want to rent Percy
Just
Jackson.
go through our whole childhood.
Oh yeah, the Percy Jackson movies were horrible.
Oh yeah.
And the Spider. I actually read the Spider books as a kid. Those books were always awesome.
Yeah,
I was super excited for the movie.
Yeah,
and it just sucked.
I had like a guide to it where it had all the animals in it and stuff.
And like,
I didn't even read any of the like novels or anything. I just had that book and I was like, well, that's pretty cool.
No, I read like the first couple of books and then I had the guide and I like. It was the few books that like I actually bought from like Barnes and Noble as a kid, and because it came with that little like eyeglass thing, that you can see the monsters through.
The eye donut, the rock donut.
I mean, it didn't work.
Does anyone remember the fucking like book fairs as a kid? Those
Yeah.
Those are great. That's like the only time I ever wanted to read a book, and then like I read it maybe like 1 or 2 books if I got them, and then after that, never in my life would I ever read a book again.
I'm not gonna lie, like my mom used to give me money thinking I was gonna do it, and I would either buy like Captain Underpants, like erasers, or like just random stuff. Like I wouldn't even buy the books. I bought like a pencil that bend, and then it got taken away from me.
The junk roll pencils. Oh,
yeah,
I remember those.
I remember in high school, way after this, but you know, like how your mom gives you lunch money sometimes, right? Yeah. Well, my mom would give me lunch money, and what I'd do is when I went to school, next to our school was a little PC cafe, and then next to that was Subway, right, or Vons, and they had like Subway gift cards, and I found out on that game that I play a lot, League of Legends, that what you could do is you could buy like a Subway gift card or something, and then you could change it. You could exchange it for like RP, and RP is like their in-game currency, so you can buy like skins and shit. So I'd ask my mom for money, and instead of buying lunch, what she gave it to me for, I'd just go and get fucking skins for that game.
Oh my god,
that's terrible.
Getting back to it, I'm honestly that's cool. Like I'm excited. Like I don't know. I think Netflix is like.
They're doing good things.
They're doing good. I'm not
good.
necessarily saying everything they put out is like 10 out of 10, but for the most part, like they got some credibility, and so for the Avatar or Narnia, like hell yeah, like I'm excited.
Just go for it.
I'm excited for the Avatar thing, the Narnia thing, I don't give a shit about. But they'll probably do a good job with it.
All right, let's get on to the next story. I think.
All right, the next story comes from. Oh crap! I didn't get the. Hold on. Comes from Deadline.com, where basically Jon Favreau dropped information on his new TV series, a Star Wars TV series that he's doing, and basically the tweet Instagram post thing says, "The Mandalorian, after the stories of Jango and Boba Fett. Sorry." I was thinking of the Sasquatch guy. Yeah, Boba Fett. Another warrior emerges in the Star Wars universe. The Mandalorian is set after the fall of the Empire and before the emergence of the First Order. We will follow the travails of a lone gunfighter in the outer reaches of the galaxy, far from the authority of the New Republic. So basically, he's writing and he's executive producer on the TV series, but they have the guy, I think he's going to direct the first episode, and then there's going to be the guy from what's that show called? Rebels, who's going to direct a couple other episodes as well. So yeah, that's pretty much that story.
So wait,
is it live action?
It's going to be a TV show? I thought this was going to be a movie.
They were in talks for it to be a trilogy, along with the Rian Johnson one and the the Game of Thrones guys trilogy.
Yeah.
But they decided just to do a TV show. So it's a live-action TV show. It's the first live-action Star Wars TV show.
Do you know? Did they say where it's gonna be on? Like Netflix?
Is it gonna be on Netflix?
HBO or
It didn't say actually. It might be like on their new streaming service or something like that.
Jesus Christ.
But
Wait, whose streaming service?
Disney's making a streaming service.
Disney. Oh my god.
Yeah.
They just have to do everything, right?
So
yeah.
Give me a second. Hold on.
Well, fuck. As long as it's not on fucking Disney XD.
Yeah.
You're gonna have it's like some.
It's like a really dark show.
It's some rated G like Boba Fett.
They're like, no, it's like a Mandalorian. He's fucking like shooting everyone. Then you see those like little Disney ears pop up, and they're like, you know, those little light sticks.
So it says on the article that it is going to be part of their new streaming service, which basically they are doing a streaming service eventually, and they're going to take all of their content off of Netflix, Hulu, Prime, and all that stuff, and they're going to put it exclusively.
What's the price?
All of it.
I don't know. It's probably the same as everything else.
Fucking.
But that's what's happening nowadays. Every channel, every TV channel has their own streaming device. Fox,
HBO.
you know, CBS, all that stuff.
Showtime.
They all have their own streaming service that you can get. So it only makes sense that Disney would try to capitalize on that.
Man, dude, like I like streaming, like I don't know, low key stuff, or like just like little like I don't know, anime and stuff like that.
Like another one just for Disney.
Yeah, but
like,
one for Disney.
Come on.
And what is it gonna have, like fucking Shake It Up or something like that?
No, it's gonna have like all of their movies, pretty much.
So it's just gonna be a whole catalog of like their library.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, so then are they like pumping out new content into it, or it's just gonna be like?
Sounds like they're pumping out new
content.
content.
Yeah. So is it gonna be like they're gonna put on new stuff on Disney Channel, and then once it's like old and outdated, they put it onto the streaming service?
They may or may not. I've heard some things. I don't know where I heard this from, but apparently these streaming services and stuff like that, once movies come out, it'll be on the streaming service within like a few weeks of it being out in theaters. Really? So you could get like access to the movie on these streaming services.
What the hell?
If you get them.
Really?
Rather than like waiting months and months for it to get to like the $2 theater or the the Redbox or something.
Wait, so
that's interesting.
Yeah. So this is for like all their future movies, and when is this streaming service gonna be?
I don't know. It's probably at the end of the year or the beginning of next year.
That's gonna be crazy, honestly. For like, especially like the next Star Wars movie coming out. Like, I don't know. I mean, it's Star Wars, so I doubt it would affect like box office numbers. But that's so crazy.
It's a TV show, but like still like. The streaming services, whether like we like it or not, that's kind of the future of where cinema and television is going.
Yeah.
Like cable's gonna be knocked out, and like numbers in like movie theater attendance has dropped like drastically over the last few years.
Curious.
Like last year, like was the lowest
fucking
attendance since like 2003 or something like that.
Yeah,
it's because they keep hiking up the ticket prices.
I'm just curious. Does anybody here still use like cable?
No.
Like, anybody or TV?
Yeah, but not necessarily like personally. It's just in the household.
Like you don't use it.
Yeah, like I mean,
like you might have it, but you don't.
Yeah, I don't go down. Like I just.
Like you just go Netflix or Hulu, right? Yeah.
Like
that's what everyone's gonna be doing.
I have
like
Netflix, Hulu, Amazon Prime, and Crunchyroll, so I can watch everything.
Yeah, you got everything you could ever ask.
Even though I hate streaming services because they're like taking away from movie businesses, and they took away from video rental stores where people could actually go and develop taste by like looking at shit, and they wouldn't just scroll through and pick whatever.
They're convenient.
They're convenient and they're cheap.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the whole point of them. That's what kind of sucks.
That's why it's gonna just keep going and growing.
Yeah, I mean, depending on how much I'll probably get it, because I mean, I like watching Marvel movies and Star Wars movies, except for The Last Jedi. You know.
Oh,
the Mandalorian I am very excited for. I think Jon Favreau is going to do a great job. I trust him. I have a fucking Mandalorian tattoo, not the skull but the actual helmet, like of Boba Fett, Jango Fett type helmet.
They're like your favorite characters.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I love them. So I'm really excited for that. So I might just buy the streaming service just for that show, but I'm sure they're gonna have a lot more on there.
There's a lot of there's a lot of movies you don't realize are Disney movies. Like I'm probably gonna get that it'll be another thing.
Yeah. Plus they own like Fox now, so you don't even know if they'll incorporate all that stuff
Oh
in
yeah,
it too.
Like eventually, it'll just be under everything. Like Disney will just take over like Netflix. They'll take.
Yeah,
it's gonna be like that Idiocracy movie.
Yeah,
where everything's owned by Carl's Jr.
Yeah, but think about it though. Like Disney owns 20th Century Fox. They also own like a couple other companies, like the one that produced Apocalypse Now. Like they own that company.
Really? Zoetrope.
Yeah, and they own like ABC Family and all that stuff.
They just
And
buy everything.
basically, all that's left is like Paramount and Universal.
Do they have
and
Warner
like,
Bros?
And Warner Brothers, yeah, that's it. But Universal and Warner Brothers are pretty tight knit, you know.
Do they have Metro?
Do they still make movies? I thought they stopped making movies a while
Do
back.
they?
MGM.
What? Metro? Yeah, MGM.
That's their name. MGM. Metro is MGM.
Yeah, I know. Do they still make movies?
Yeah.
Okay.
They do.
I think.
I'm
pretty sure.
Yeah. All right.
I'm like 90% sure they do.
Also,
not 100. Sorry.
But anywho, yeah. Back to the story. I think they even dropped a concept art picture. It looked kind of cool, like this guy, Mandalorian guy in like a gray suit, walking through like a Tatooine-esque thing. It looks pretty nice.
It makes me excited.
Yeah, and plus, like Jon Favreau is a good director. Like I loved the live action Jungle Book. It was great.
Yeah, he's just like really solid. You know?
Yeah.
Like I feel like it's gonna be a decent movie.
Yeah.
Regardless of it'll just be a good movie.
Yeah.
He's great in movies too. Like he was great in Swingers. That whole scene where he's on the phone. Have you guys seen that?
No.
It's a hilarious scene. I recommend you go and watch that. He's like making a phone call to a girl, and like he just keeps calling her back, and he's like, please, you know, like that's not what I meant, or blah blah blah, you know, and it just goes on. It's so funny. Plus, I know it's a big meme online, but Chef, I enjoy that movie, and he's actually good.
Chef's actually a good movie.
Yeah, it's not a bad movie.
Wait, that's a meme? I didn't even know.
Yeah, it's a
Dude,
meme.
Chef, like Filthy Frank and all that.
Yeah, they made it.
Always hot.
Oh,
yeah, come on.
Yeah, it's a good movie though. It's I legitimately enjoy it.
All right, let's keep it rolling.
Yeah. What's our next topic?
All right. So next we're going to be talking about Chris Evans leaving Marvel forever. Chris Evans tweeted today, officially wrapped on Avengers 4. It was an emotional day to say the least. Playing this role over the last 8 years has been an honor to everyone in front of the camera, behind the camera, and in the audience. Thank you for the memories. Eternally grateful.
They start playing that Fall Out Boy song. Thanks for the memories.
So we all knew this day was coming pretty much, that Chris Evans was going to leave, Captain America, and you know Robert Downey Jr. is going to leave, Iron Man, and all these original Avengers are going to be leaving.
Give it to the new kids.
Yeah. So
I'm honestly super excited. Like,
yeah.
Like I mean, like you know, this whole we had a friend, like you was talking about how like, or somebody brought up how it was 8 years going. Right. And that's crazy to think about, but like honestly, we've seen like other like studios try to reinvent. Like just imagine like all the Batman, all the different like Batmans, and how many have like fallen. I'm super excited to see like how Marvel Studios actually does like, you know, like reboots of their like characters, because it's like I wonder if, because you know for the most part most of the movies have been good, except for like some of the Iron Man and Thor movies, but like for the most part it's been pretty good. So I want to see if like they can actually still hold it together, or if they're gonna have to like freak out and like maybe try to bring them back. I don't know. It's gonna be cool.
I wonder if they're gonna if this is like the death of Captain America, which I'm like pretty certain it is, unless they're pulling a sneaky one on us, which I think is stupid if they did.
That's the thing I don't like about this. Like I feel like it's almost like that movie's been spoiled for me. Like it's like
but
he's gonna die.
You can totally see.
Yeah, but I like pretending.
And then you're not he's gonna die either.
Yeah, like
maybe he just gets frozen again.
Yeah, or something.
Yeah,
he's like stuck in a soul gem or something.
Yeah.
But it just like confirms that his story's gonna be over, and I just kind of wish that.
No, actually, it's gonna lead into like a Thanos and Captain America, and like buddy cop film. It's gonna be cool.
They go around the universe just fucking killing people.
Thanos, stop! It's not our way.
Yeah, no, I think it's good that they're killing him off. Like, finally, fuck. That's why I like Avengers or Infinity War so much, is because obviously, yeah, they're all gonna come back because whatever. But when Thanos snapped and like all of those people start dying, I was like, yes, fucking lose, finally lose one battle. Like, because it's ridiculous, like those movies are fun, but they win so much. It's like,
well, except for Groot. I feel bad for Groot. This is the second time.
Yeah, it's the second
died.
time he's died.
And
he's fine.
He was a teenager this time. Like, they just killed him off.
yeah, but I mean, like, it's like, I'm not a big Captain America fan in the first place because like
he's very bland.
Yeah, he's too good.
Like, he doesn't have any
he's too
sort
good of a person.
He doesn't have any flaws. And because he doesn't have any flaws, like, it's like you can't relate to him that much. He's this perfect guy.
He has to do everything by the rules. I think it's
like
fun to have a little grit.
But you gotta admit, the Captain America that we started out with in the first Captain America, compared to the Captain America we have now in the last Avengers movie, there's been a decent change. Like,
oh no, yeah.
In terms of character, like especially with Thor, like I hated the Thor movies, but Thor Ragnarok and the Avengers, like that was my favorite stuff.
Yeah, Thor
like
Ragnarok.
when Thor came in Infinity War with Rocket and Groot, like that was the coolest part for me. But like even Iron Man, like I wasn't a big fan of the first couple Marvel movies. Like I didn't get into it until the Guardians of the Galaxy came around, and that's when I really started to get into the Marvel universe. So, they're doing better now with what they got.
But I'm sort of glad that they're killing him off because he is for me a boring character because he's just so like so good.
Yeah,
it's too
it kind of
good,
sucks because like the only problem they really ever give him is just like him always like, oh Bucky, like Bucky.
Does anybody care about Bucky? Like
Bucky's literally no. In Infinity War, he was literally like a school shooter. Like that's how he was just like. He just had like an AR-15. He was just like mowing down people.
Yeah, I've always hated Bucky. Like it's not. He's such a boring character.
I think they might make him into Captain America.
Okay, if he's Captain America and he has like flashbacks of like Hydra and he's like all kind of like half good, half evil, that would be cool.
Yeah.
But if he just turns into Cap and he's all good now,
I think they need to develop him more. I think they could do that in the next one.
Yeah. I kind of just want them to drop his character.
Well, they're either gonna pass it to Bucky or to Falcon.
Yeah, Falcon.
That's what they do in the comics.
Yeah,
I feel like Falcon. Do you think he'd get his own movie? Like, do you think it would work?
It might.
Yeah, I mean, his like not all of his jokes go through with me during the movies, but he can hold his own when he's on the screen. Like,
I want to see gritty superhero movies like Logan. That was so good.
I mean, dude, like we were just talking, like Disney's literally buying out every character back. So it's
Marvel's
they did Deadpool rated R, right? And that was a Marvel Studios one.
That was Marvel.
Well, that was the last Fox film.
Yeah,
because it was bought out right before it was released.
Mm-hmm. The first or second one or both?
The second one.
The second one.
So they were really worried about like Disney censoring them, but they said, "No, we'll leave it be." But Disney is re-releasing Deadpool 2 this December as a PG-13 release in theaters. So it can go to the younger audiences.
Wait, they're re-releasing it?
Yeah, they're re-releasing it as a PG-13 movie.
Has that ever been done before?
I thought it was that they were making a new Deadpool movie.
No. So they're I don't know the future of Deadpool 3 right now. Under Disney, but
they said it was going to be X-Force, wasn't it?
Yeah, they were going to do an X-Force movie and then a Deadpool 3, but they just decided to combine it and do a 3. So yeah, they're re-releasing it in PG-13 to get all the kids who couldn't see Deadpool 2 because of the rated R stuff. But all those kids have seen it anyways.
Yeah,
right?
I literally took my little cousin.
Dude,
why are they re-releasing?
It's just
for
money.
Like it's just for money, but like that's just like that's never been.
Why can't they
done.
Why? Service stuff to adults that like something that I want to see. Like I want to see rated R superhero movies.
Well,
I know. I get it. I get like they want to make the most money possible. I get that they want to appeal to a younger audience.
Like it's to me, I think it's okay. I don't know about you guys, but like, as long as they admit to keeping whatever Deadpool is with like how it's been going, and then just making him PG. Because honestly, I'm not gonna lie, that would be pretty badass to see like Deadpool with the Avengers. Like, I don't know, I would like that. Like to see him actually interact with Tom Holland Spider-Man. Like that'd be fucking cool. So I don't mind, but then I can see like Ken like how that sucks.
Like if they're gonna do comic book storylines that are dark, make them dark. Do them the right way. Don't fucking
go
water
halfway.
it down.
You know?
Yeah, because then it's gonna turn out to be shit. You know, like Logan, Old Man Logan. That's what they did for the new Logan movie a while back. You know, and that was good. That got nominated for Oscars.
That was a beautiful movie.
It was a superhero movie.
Yeah, and superhero movie. Yeah. It's like the second one that did that, right? Because third one.
Suicide Squad.
Yeah, Suicide Squad is the Dark Knight.
Don't
But either way, you know, like even the Dark Knight, that was like what, PG-13?
I
Was
think
it?
so.
I
I
thought
don't think it was rated R.
Yeah, but it was still dark, and they were able to do it.
Yeah, I mean you can do a lot with PG-13. Like,
Yeah,
but they just won't. You know,
Yeah,
even
they
before that though, the Blade, all those movies were R, and the Punisher movies, those were R. Like superhero movies that were rated R didn't do well. So until they decided to go R for Logan and R for Deadpool, like they weren't doing rated R films at all for superheroes.
They did Spawn too, huh?
Yeah. Well, that was Spawn was kind of cool though.
Yeah, Spawn was kind of cool. But it's because like they didn't get skilled enough people to write them. That's the whole deal.
I mean, look at the whole like wannabe Ghost Rider franchise.
Oh yeah, Ghost Rider.
You guys don't like Ghost Rider? Nick Cage.
I love Ghost Rider as a superhero, as a comic book hero, but the movies are so bad.
Dude, Nicolas Cage, he is the Ghost Rider.
No,
is he Ghost Rider?
In the second one, have you guys seen the second one?
No, Spirit of Vengeance.
I think I saw it on a bus
there's
in
this
Mexico.
scene where like Nicolas Cage goes crazy because I think he's losing his power. I forgot what happened, and it's literally just a minute of him like sitting on his knees or standing up, and he's just like he's just like twisting his head. It's the best. We gotta watch it, dude. Like it's funny.
That's funny. I know that we have Spirit of Vengeance here in the first one, so if we ever want to watch that and review it, we can.
Dude, we have to do a double feature on that.
Yeah, I don't know which one it was that I watched, but I didn't even see it in English. I was on a bus in Mexico, and they played it on the bus.
That's
in
the
Spanish.
best way to see it.
And
I read it
wasn't even subtitled or anything. It was just straight Spanish, and I was like,
okay,
it's the Ghost Rider, I guess.
I mean, you can kind of figure out what's happening just by looking.
No, you can't.
Kind
No,
of.
not at all.
No. Like going back to Ken, like I love the Ghost Rider comics. Another thing that pissed me off about Ghost Rider was the main villain, I think his name's Blackheart.
Yeah.
He looks super cool in like
Wolfheart
Marvel vs. Capcom games or like the comics. Like he looks super badass. And I think in the movie he's just like this pale guy in a black suit.
Yeah.
Oh
He's
yeah.
I hated that. Yeah.
It's dumb.
That was lame.
All right.
Let's go on our next news story.
Next story. Got it.
Yeah. I don't know. That Ghost Rider movie's pretty bad.
But it's a good time.
Yeah, like twice. That's about it.
Hey, twice. That's more than zero.
It's more than Venom, probably.
Now we'll see next week.
Okay, guys. So the next story is basically another Stephen King movie is coming out. By the way, they announced they put a couple screenshots for the Pet Sematary movie out today. So check those out. I mean, it looks kind of.
I don't care about it.
Anyways, so since the success of it and all these other Stephen King related things, there's this guy Mike Flanagan who's doing the Dr. Sleep movie, which if you don't know, that's the book sequel to The Shining, which has like an adult what's his name?
Doesn't fucking matter.
I didn't even know.
It's gonna be so bad.
Danny. Yeah, there you go. So basically, I haven't read the book. I don't even know what the book's about, but I just know he's an adult. Anyways, they're doing a movie on it. And this director guy, he says that basically when asked if he's going to acknowledge the Shining that Stanley Kubrick made, he says, yeah, I think you do have to acknowledge that.
Yeah.
There is no version of the world where I'm trying not to acknowledge one of the greatest films ever made. There is no upside and shying away from that reality. So he's saying he wants to do the film naturally and to his own interpretation. You know, and he says at this time it's not The Shining, it's its own story in a very specific way. If you've read the book, you know exactly why it's so different, but it's quite a tightrope that we're walking, I think. I'm having a great time doing it. I'm just going to get the movie out and then turn off the internet for 2 weeks and see how it goes. So, if you guys know...
Oh, God. Yeah, rest in peace. Fucking Mike Flanagan made Ouija and Oculus.
Wait, which Ouija?
Origin of Evil.
Does it matter which
actually,
Ouija?
No. That one was actually decent compared to the first one.
The Shining levels of decent?
No,
Jeff?
not at all.
No. Well, I mean, you
He
can't...
made
you can't
I Know What You
it.
Did Last Summer with Victoria Justice.
Just think, just by comparison, like, literally anyone making this movie, like, the movie they make is gonna be bad.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's gonna be in The Shining.
The Shining Shadow.
I'm wearing a fucking The Shining shirt right now. It's my favorite movie of all time. No one's ever going to top the level that Stanley Kubrick did with The Shining. There's no one that can fucking convince me that Mike Flanagan's gonna do a good job.
Well, you'll be convinced after you watch that movie, Ken.
No.
Okay,
no.
well, let's not, like...
I'm counting it out immediately.
Okay, well, I'm not going to discount it right away. Yeah, The Shining is one of my top 5 movies of all time, hands down. And, like, yeah, I'm kind of worried that the sequels are going to, like, suck, but, like, you know, it might be good.
No.
So, it might be.
You can't make a sequel to a Stanley Kubrick movie. Case in point, 2010, the year we make contact. Terrible fucking movie.
Never even heard of that film.
Based off of 2001. It was a sequel to 2001. Terrible. How could you even think? You know what? I'm gonna make a sequel to one of the greatest movies ever fucking filmed.
Okay, well here's the thing. He's not making a sequel to one of the greatest movies ever made. He's making the sequel to the Stephen King novel. Which, by the way, Stephen King doesn't even like the Stanley Kubrick Shining.
I know.
Because he dissed his book pretty much.
Yeah, he basically went off onto his own thing, did his own movie. And if you guys, I don't know if you guys know this little tidbit, but like when, what's the dude, the cook? What's his name?
Yeah, Scatman Carruthers. I know that's not his name.
So the cook, he's driving back to the Overlook Hotel, and there's this crash on the road, and it's this trucker that flipped onto a red Volkswagen Bug. That was a direct middle finger to Stephen King because that was the kind of car he was driving at the time. So like literally Stanley Kubrick was just like, fuck you, dude. Like he called him up and he's like, hey man, so are you religious? And Stephen King was like, yeah. He's like, okay, that explains everything. And then he just hung up the phone. You never talked to him the entire rest of the thing. He just went off on his own.
That was it. That was the only content.
Because he was reading the book and he's like, there's something that I can't do here.
Look. Stephen King, the writer, legendary writer. He's great, obviously. Stephen King, the filmmaker, terrible. Case in point, Maximum Overdrive.
Maximum Overdrive.
Other one, the TV film of The Shining. Terrible. Fucking god awful.
They made a TV.
Yeah.
They made a TV.
It was.
It's made for TV film.
It came out a year after the Stanley Kubrick Shining.
Yeah.
He hated it that much that he had it immediately redone and done for TV.
And guess what? It sucks dick, and it's here in the store.
So
if you want to watch that,
was it multiple seasons?
No, it was just a series because they did because Stephen King did multiple like TV series for his this thing. He did like Rose Red. You know, it was a TV series before it was combined into a movie.
Damn, dude,
like all that stuff.
Even for the chance to I haven't seen that movie fully through, so I don't want to put my 2 cents too much. But like for somebody who for you not even to just be excited to go back to the world because of like how scared you are of how bad or how you know it's gonna be bad.
I'm not scared that it's gonna be bad. I know it's gonna be bad.
You just understand it. You're like, okay, yeah, accept it.
And no offense, like it's kind of true. Like it's, I don't know. It's hard to like live up to something that's like super.
Yeah.
And then he already kind of put it himself in his own quote. It's just like, oh, I'm gonna release it and then turn off the internet. Like he already knows.
Yeah,
so
he already
like,
knows that it's not gonna live up to what The Shining was.
Well, like think about it. If you're making a sequel or like a reboot of one of the greatest movies of all time, of course you're gonna have doubts.
Well, let me tell you something about that. Don't.
Yeah.
Don't make it.
Can't.
Don't make it. Yeah.
You're right. Don't do that.
No, I know I'm right.
Okay.
Reboots suck.
Wait.
All the
all
time.
right.
Almost
so,
all
hold
the
on.
time. Like 90%.
Okay. Yeah, because
90%.
I was just about to say John Carpenter's The Thing. Fuck you. Case in point. That was a remake.
That was a remake.
Oh yeah. No, okay. I thought you meant the 2011 one. I'm like, what? Wait, hold on.
There are quite there are quite a lot of reboots. And,
like
and stuff
Invasion
that
of the
do
Body Snatchers.
way better than the original.
Invasion of the Body Snatchers is a reboot. That one's great. The Blade Runner 2049. That's not a reboot. That's a sequel to a fantastic movie.
We talk about
That's how
great
you
as
do
well.
a sequel to a great
Yeah,
movie.
that's how you do a sequel. I don't think. Look, Mike Flanagan. He's a filmmaker. Respect to him because he does it. But dude, there's no way. There's no fucking way.
Ouija.
If you're making Ouija and you're gonna attempt to make a sequel to a Stanley Kubrick movie, dude, come on. There's no fucking way.
Ken, maybe he'll get lucky, you know?
Yeah.
Maybe he will. Hopefully he does.
You know
Maybe
what?
it's good.
He should
but
get-
it's not gonna be.
He should get James Cameron to help him out because James Cameron has not only made one, but two of the greatest sequels in the entire world, and that is Terminator 2: Judgment Day and Aliens.
But those are based off. Oh wait, never mind.
Yeah,
Yeah, you're
literally
stupid.
the sequels to a movie. They did better. Like it's really hard to debate which one's better in the Alien, whether it's Alien or Aliens. But like, come on, Terminator 2 is way better than Terminator 1.
he's too busy making fucking 4 avatars.
That's actually 6
Yeah,
avatars.
6 avatars.
Yeah.
6 avatars at the same time. So.
But he's gonna
He
stop
is.
halfway.
That's
There's
a
no
real
way he's
thing.
gonna get through all 6
simultaneously
movies.
making them.
But
I don't know why or how.
if Mike Flanagan is one of these 6 people who listen to this podcast, he should definitely get James Cameron's help on it. He needs some pointers for
You
sequels.
hear that?
You just start mass sending this thing.
Yeah.
Hey, listen to our new podcast. We talk about you. Fuck Michael Flynn.
Yeah. Fuck that guy.
And then at the end, with respect.
Yeah.
It's all in good fun, you know.
You know, like no, okay. I respect anyone who tries to go out and make a film, you know, because it's a tough thing, you know, and it's very not noble, but it's very passionate.
You're putting yourself out.
Yeah, you're putting yourself out there. It's worth a lot, you know,
Okay.
to you.
So,
But if, like I said before, if you're gonna do it, don't make a fucking sequel
okay.
to a legendary director's movie.
So Ken, I have a question. So if this studio came up to you
Right.
and said, Ken, we're going to make this movie. It's a sequel to The Shining. You can direct it. We want you to direct it. And you can say yes or no right now, but either way, this movie is going to happen with or without you. What would you say?
I would say no.
Yeah?
Yeah, out of respect, because I know for a fact I wouldn't be able to live up to what Stanley Kubrick did. You know, yeah, sure, it's a lot of money and it's an opportunity, right? But still, you know, out of the integrity of the art form, which I think of filmmaking as an art form, even though there are, you know, entertainment movies, I will respect the craft and I will respect not only my favorite filmmaker, but possibly the greatest filmmaker. I know that's debatable, but one of the greatest filmmakers of all time. I will not do it because it has been already done. It is already good. There's no reason to add on to it. There's no reason to change it. You know.
What if it's between you and Tommy Wiseau?
Tommy Wiseau can take it. I'm not gonna do it. I told you.
Honestly, too, another thing, like if it was meant to happen, like a sequel, honestly, like I mean, I don't know the work ethic of like Stanley Kubrick, you know.
Oh,
but like he would
That's
have,
insane.
he would have, like if a sequel was needed and it was gonna happen, like I'm pretty sure he would have picked up the job himself.
Or,
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
know. I doubt he even looked into that. He probably was just like,
yeah, he just
It's
wanted to do
done.
that one thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, Stanley Kubrick was really great when he obviously he's really great. But like when he picked out stories and he decided to do stories, he would even get stuff from the book and he'd completely chop it out because it didn't like continue. Like
it didn't adapt well.
No. Not even that it didn't adapt well. It just like this book itself, like the Clockwork Orange, for example, right? Alex DeLarge, he does all this horrible shit. At the end of the book, he's about 18 or 20 or something like that, and he recollects what he did, and he's like, okay, well, time to move on. I'm a good person now, not a bad person. And that's like totally separate from what the book meaning was. The whole concept and thesis of the book and the themes of the book. So he chopped that out completely. He's like, oh yeah, that, he's like, he didn't tell Anthony Burgess, like, it's shit, but he's like, that has no place in the book. There's no reason to have it, because the whole point of the book is like, should a man keep his choice in his soul, even if he is a terrible like rapist or killer or whatever, like he Kubrick would just change it if it had to be changed, and made sure it made sense within the realms of not only the story but filmmaking as a whole.
That's gonna be tough to try to compare it to.
Yeah, like they on The Shining, the cameraman, they invented the Steadicam just for that movie. Of course, it's used today all the time. So there's a invention that is now used on almost every film you can find it, and that's on The Shining. So not only in a story sense, but in a technical sense, in terms of like cameras and camera equipment, that was legendary too. You could finally take the camera off of its tripod and move it around freely without it shaking everywhere.
Well, Ken, I think we're gonna actually need to move on, because we've been talking about Stanley Kubrick for it's been like 10 minutes at least, probably. All right, do we have any more stories, Jeff?
Yes, actually, has to do with Venom. So, have you guys been hearing about the initial reviews of Venom? How they're all bad?
Yeah, I've been trying to steer clear because I want to go in with sort of a
so
sense of what it is.
Basically, there is. This is from The Guardian. Basically, Venom is coming out with overwhelmingly negative critical reaction, and it is unlikely to please the distributors, Sony. But it is likely to gladden the hearts of those Lady Gaga fans who have identified Venom as chief competition to Gaga's new film, A Star Is Born. Oh. On Tuesday, negative Twitter reactions to Venom raised suspicion about their motivation on account of their similarly phrased critiques. So basically, some of these tweets said, like, just got out of the Venom preview. Thankfully, it was free. Worst 2 hours of my life. I will be taking my wife to see Lady Gaga's new movie, A Star Is Born, with Bradley Cooper on Friday. Their song Shallow is great. Oh. Another person said, just got back from seeing Venom in theaters. So disappointed. Lots of democratic nonsense pushing LGBT agenda down throat too. Disgusted. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I might have to take the kids to see #A Star Is Born tomorrow to make up for the terrible night.
That's kind of stupid. You want to know why?
Yeah.
Because they're complaining about LGBTQ stuff, and Lady Gaga has written songs about like LGBTQ, and she's definitely very adamant about like getting equality for LGBTQ plus and whatever,
Yeah.
So they're gonna go watch your movie? Okay.
So apparently the Gaga fans think that this movie's a threat to A Star Is Born. Venom.
Venom is a threat.
Yeah.
I didn't think that this movie would be a threat to much of anything.
So like everyone,
why is it just
date, right?
I guess they come out on the same day, but
that's why.
Like, it's up for Oscar nominations already. Like, A Star Is Born.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say Venom.
No, not Venom.
Yeah, dude.
But like
CGI.
So all these people are like giving fake negative reviews, and they're just like
dumb.
just so people will go see A Star Is Born instead of Venom. Which, by the way, like A Star Is Born looks like it's gonna be a really good film.
Yeah,
Like,
it looks decent.
yeah, but
Here's the thing too, like
You're one of the fans.
Huh?
You just promoted the movie.
go see it. Hashtag A Star Is Born. Hashtag Bradley Cooper. Hashtag Gaga.
the demographic is so different for each movie.
Exactly
too,
right.
Which I don't get at all. And like, why is it? Is it like middle-aged moms tweeting it out?
I don't know.
What's saying? Go with the kids, right?
Yeah,
yeah.
one
So
Well,
must be-
one
it
of
must
them
be
said take the
weird.
wife, and then the
Yeah,
other
yeah.
one
So
said
it's like
What
a
the
man
fuck,
Gaga. Okay, so this is kind of off topic, but you know the movie Dunkirk, right?
Yeah.
Right.
You know how it had that Harry Styles guy from One Direction?
Yeah.
Right.
So I worked opening night of that movie, and there were so many like teenage girls going into Dunkirk.
Dude, that actually happened kind
And
of
it
Regency.
was, yeah, and it was so weird. I'm like, why the fuck are all these teenage girls going to see a World War II movie? And then I was like, oh, that kid from One Direction is in it, so that's why. And like, apparently Christopher Nolan didn't even know who that kid was. So he's like, my movie's doing so well because of this Harry. I didn't even know who he was. I didn't even know. But like, literally, it was all old people and teenage girls. So like,
It's a nice mixture.
yeah,
Such
so
a
like,
weird
maybe that's why, like, maybe A Star Is Born is aimed towards like the older people, the Oscar people
Right.
who want to watch like those crazy drama movies. But like, I bet you anything, there's gonna be a shitload of like cringy teen chicks from high school going to see that movie just because Lady Gaga's in it.
Oh yeah. Don't they call themselves like Lady Gaga's little monsters?
Yeah,
or
little
something?
monsters. That's what they call
So
themselves.
you're gonna
Yeah,
get a bunch of older Oscar people and little monsters.
yeah, it's just gonna be
Fucking
so weird.
shop at Hot Topic.
So guys, what can we learn from this?
I'm happy about it, to be honest. I've been wanting Venom to do so bad because like I like Tom Hardy, but I want Venom to do bad so they could just stop trying and give the rest of the Spider-Man stuff back to like Disney.
Yeah.
Because I want to see Tom Holland fight like Venom. Like that's badass.
I feel like they would just like if this fails that bad, they would just sort of not ever do anything.
Yeah, so then that's why Disney will pick it up because it's just like,
Well,
what are we gonna see Tom Hardy?
I mean, do you
fucking
think they
fighting?
bring it into
You-
Disney though,
you
or
wanna-
with like Marvel after
yes.
this though?
Do you
think
want to
they
know
would-
what's next though?
what?
The next movie that's coming
Is
out.
that Black Cat movie,
It's
right?
no, they postponed the Black
Oh.
Cat Silver Sable movie. It's Morbius with Jared Leto.
Wait, who's
playing
Morbius?
The vampire guy.
Oh yeah, Jared.
Which vampire?
The
guy?
vampire guy in the Spider-Man universe. He's
Oh,
like a big
oh, yeah.
big Blade villain.
Whenever I
kind of thing
hear
too.
Yeah.
fucking Jared Leto's name, it's
Jared
attached
Leto's
to a
gonna
movie,
be
I go
Morbius.
wah wah.
And that's their next big Spider-Verse movie. After
See,
after
this is the
Spider-Verse.
thing. Like, no.
Jared Leto's
Stop.
was
Wait,
only good
yeah.
in 2 movies.
So-
and that's
so
Blade
think
Runner
about it, like-
2049 and fucking Mr. Nobody, and that's it.
Have you seen chapter 25?
No.
The
I know what you're talking about, but I haven't seen
Yeah,
it.
yeah, that one was pretty good, and
Actually, we were talking about this with Sean. Remember?
Yeah, we
We
were
were
talking
talking
about
about like Jared Leto.
Well, what are some other movies he's been in?
I think Sean he said that those were like the 2 that he can.
Yeah, Mr. Nobody and
God.
Blade Runner.
no, what was the other one? There's another one pretty good. Oh, about Dallas Buyers Club.
Okay,
He was,
fair enough,
he was
yeah.
pretty okay in that.
Yeah, he's really good in that.
But like,
He's
he's
good.
terrible in superhero movies, dude.
Well, what's he been in?
He
He was the
fucking
Joker.
Suicide
oh yeah.
Squad.
Well, besides that,
It doesn't matter.
That's all you need.
I erased that out of my mind.
Have you seen that Hot Topic like love scene that they have in the
Damn
chemical
it.
baths?
Yeah, well,
The
that's
whole
fucking
thing was
gross.
just a Hot
You
Topic ad.
fucking die.
No,
It
guys,
doesn't
yeah.
matter.
Guys, any villain that has the word damaged written across their forehead, they gotta be pretty rad.
Fucking
How do you
tattoo,
be
but
rad? They have to
toothy
be
smile on their
edgy.
hands.
That's the wrong word.
No, they're rad.
No, it's a fucking. I don't think of rad when I think of Jared Little Joker. I think of edgy, cringy, fucking
Zoomies.
Yeah. No, honestly, he's even lower than Zoomies, dude. Come on. At least Zoomies has some. I'm not gonna lie. I went to Zoomies the other day. I bought a bunch of-
Oh.
dude, hey, they have a bunch of Dragon Ball Z shirts over there. They're pretty badass.
I know Zoomies,
I
the
bought a
movie
bunch of them.
character.
I'm not even gonna lie. Like I bought a bunch of them. But yeah, like he's dominant. Like,
Why is it like
So
why did they think that was like such a good idea to fucking make him look like that? I don't know. I
So
don't
think
get
it
it.
was his idea.
Maybe.
He's like, I want to look
Did he
like
like
a
send dead
gangster."
rats to his fucking?
yeah, he sent a used condom to one person, a full-on dead pig to someone and then like a bunch of rats to someone else.
That's
like
not,
a bunch
that's
of
not what the Joker does. He doesn't.
That's so stupid. I'm method acting.
Yeah, I'm like Heath Ledger. Watch.
Yeah, but like
Dead rats. Pig.
I don't know. Whoever designed all that stuff, they probably were like a 15-year-old cringy.
But if you think
teenager.
about it, like it was smart on that person's point because it's like how much like you see it, or like especially when it first came out, like how many posters you saw, how much apparel you saw, fucking Oscars for what they got makeup, right?
Yeah.
Over
fucking
that
Star
is
Trek.
impressive.
Wait, did they?
It's an Oscar winner.
Oh,
Suicide Squad.
over Star Trek, which was a really great in terms of makeup, was really great.
No, that was a fun movie. The third one.
Well, I didn't watch it, so that's why I said in terms of makeup.
It's better than Suicide Squad.
Because I saw the makeup, and the makeup looked really.
Think about it, like it's sad too, because like Suicide Squad, like the fucking Croc, he literally looked like a fucking crocodile skin purse. Like
you know what he fucking looked like? Have you seen the live action Super Mario Brothers movie?
Oh yeah,
he looks like the fucking Goomba.
Yeah, the harmonica guy.
Yeah, he had like no fucking. He did not look like an alligator at all. It looked like he just got the skin he usually.
Like he was just like kind of a meaty guy with like a skin on.
Just saying Armenian.
An Armenian guy. You want to buy some rugs?
He's got a gold fucking like where the was it gold SUV or something?
Yeah.
Hey, bro.
But yeah, like I don't know.
Yeah, so I'm with you. I'm kind of hoping that Venom does bad, and I hope that these next couple Spider-Man movies do bad.
What?
So that the Spider-Verse movies.
Wait.
Not Tom Holland.
Yeah, not Tom Holland, because that's Disney.
Wait. You mean the animated
Into
one?
the Spider-Verse?
I don't know about that one. That one looks okay. That looks pretty good.
though.
I like the art style. I will say that one's probably going to succeed. But I mean the live action stuff, like the Morbius, the Black Cat.
So wait,
okay.
Morbius gonna get his own like movie?
Yes, it's going to be like
full
Venom.
movie.
Yes.
Oh.
So they're basically doing one-off movies of all of the Spider-Man villains.
Yeah,
So
that shouldn't be
if they all do bad, maybe they'll consider giving Spider-Man stuff back.
Dude, like, just imagine like the next, like, okay, it wouldn't be the next Spider-Man, but just imagine like how Disney and the MCU would do like Spider-Man versus like Mysterio. Like imagine
that's what they're doing
Mysterio
for Far From Home.
for the first time. Like
That's what they're doing for Far From Home. For the next movie, Jake Gyllenhaal is Mysterio.
That's fucking beautiful.
Yeah,
like, that's all I want. Like,
but think about this. Like out of all the Marvel characters, like Spider-Man has the most diverse villain base, and like
he's got the
everything.
He's like Batman, where like Batman has the best villains. You know?
Yeah,
That's
he's got
Spider-Man.
the best villains, the most like diverse.
Vulture, Pinhead,
Shocker.
Electro.
He's got
Doc Ock.
We already said Doc Ock.
Oh.
Venom.
Doc Ock. Carnage.
Fucking Venom.
Green Goblin.
Carnage. Green Goblin. Hobgoblin.
Doc Ock.
Sandman.
Doc Ock. Yeah. The Shocker. Electro. The Rhino.
Jeff.
Paul Giamatti.
Jamie Foxx.
Jamie Foxx.
Blue Jamie Foxx.
I'm your biggest fan.
How his fucking gap in his teeth closes. So dumb. Oh
and then he
God.
dies and he gets reborn into. He's like, I'm Bats.
I don't like the
I'm
Amazing
Bats.
Spider-Man
Crazy.
movies.
Yeah,
Especially like I don't think Andrew Garfield was a good pick for him because like he's too handsome.
Okay,
He's
wait.
too-
Before we go
he's
into
too
this,
cool.
this should be a good segue into the Spider-Man theory because I have so much to say about like the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man. Like
Okay, well, we'll talk a little bit about Amazing Spider-Man since we have like 10 more minutes until the review. Since I don't know, that was all for news, right?
Okay.
Let's talk about the Amazing Spider-Man, and then we'll get into.
I just want to say something. The Amazing Spider-Man universe, like I love those two movies, but the second one was totally ruined by the studio. It was completely the studio's fault because they had a bunch of other stuff that they had planned out that basically was going to make it a good movie. And they even had the third movie. It was going to lead into Miles Morales and everything because like that was as far as his contract went. Sinister Six. You know, it was going to be pretty crazy.
I don't know. The first one I didn't really.
Yeah, Dane DeHaan looked fucking terrible as Goblin.
Okay, well,
Green Goblin.
I hate that guy.
Dane DeHaan. We had this discussion last time,
Yeah,
right? He's just a.
Bad
He's just like everything he's in now. I'm just kind of like, fuck, I don't want to watch this.
You're just like.
like that movie. A Cure for Wellness. I really wanted to see that movie because it looked good, but I didn't want to see it because of Dane DeHaan. And then I watched it and I'm like, fuck, I should have just not watched it.
Was he even a main character?
He was. He was one of the only characters.
Yeah.
I like how in Valerian he tried to do Bruce Willis' voice. He's like, hey, we gotta save these aliens.
Isn't he not even in that movie, really?
Huh?
Isn't he really not in that movie?
What? Dane DeHaan?
Yeah, in Valerian.
I didn't watch it.
I
saw glimpses of it.
Yeah, I only saw like parts because of theater checks and stuff, and I only saw that other chick, and like I never saw Dane DeHaan on it, maybe like once. Yeah. So, anyways, what was your?
What were you gonna say about Amazing Spider-Man?
Amazing Spider-Man is just I hate it. Like
it's bad.
Okay, like I don't know. Like I was really excited for the Lizard to be the first bad guy because this is why I wanted to wait because like. All throughout Spider-Man, like Tobey Maguire one, it's like there's hinted that he's talking to the guy that eventually turns into Lizard, right? Like the guy that's missing the arm, and Dr. Connors, I think. Yeah. And then so like
he's in Spider-Man 2 and
I was really excited that he was going to be the first villain, but just like everything just went downhill. Like I didn't like Andrew Garfield. Right. I don't know. It was really weird. Like,
so that's a good segue then. The Amazing Spider-Man sucks. Both of them.
Yeah, I'll go back to like the Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Later.
So stay tuned as we dive into Spider-Man 3 up next.
I like simple pleasures like butter in my ass, lollipops in my mouth. That's just me. That's just something that I enjoy. Call me crazy. Call me a pervert. Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn.
Hey, welcome back to the Second Run Reels podcast with me, Kenneth White, as one of your hosts. Time to give a quick shout out to our sponsor. We're currently being hosted by the Salzer's Video Store in Ventura, California. Come down and get the best movies, the worst movies, the new movies, but most of all, actual physical movies. None of that online streaming bullshit. Salzer's Video Store is located at 5801 Valentine Road in Ventura, California. I fucked it up. I'll have to start over. It's okay.
Start over. It's okay. I'll cut it out.
Alright. Hey, welcome back to the Second Run Reels podcast with me, Kenneth White, as one of your hosts. Time to give a quick shout out to our sponsor. We're currently being hosted by the Salzer's Video Store in Ventura, California. Come down and get the best movies, the worst movies, the new movies, but most of all, actual physical movies. None of that online streaming bullshit. Salzer's Video Store is located at 5801 in Valentine Road in Ventura, California. So come stop by. The 2007 Spider-Man 3 is the third and final movie in the Sam Raimi Spider-Man trilogy, starring the titular Tobey Maguire that some might say sort of earned itself a reputation by ruining Spider-Man. Let's get into this, guys. What do you think of Spider-Man 3?
Bad. It's the one Spider-Man movie I didn't pick up. Like, I went to Target the other day and I think they had each individual one for like $5 each, and then they had the whole collection itself for like I think $6. I didn't buy the collection even though it was cheaper. I'm not owning 3. Like,
you could just buy it and then burn it.
No,
it's not even worth that. No.
I'm sorry. Like I love like the whole like I grew up with that like Tobey Maguire Spider-Man age, but 3's bad.
Yeah.
But like they're all bad though. They're all like yeah.
No.
They're all legitimately bad movies. But
all
what
of
makes
the
them
Sam Raimi
shut the fuck up. What makes them good?
Bad?
Shut the fuck up. What makes them
Shut the fuck up.
No, you shut the fuck up. What makes them good though, right? Okay.
Is Bruce Campbell?
No. Well, yes and no. Yes and no. Not Bruce Campbell by himself, but what makes them good is that they're so fucking campy and they are not meant to be taken seriously. That's what I like about them. That's what makes them good. Like, the vice that I have with the Amazing Spider-Man versus Sam Raimi Spider-Man is the performance of Peter Parker. Like, Tobey Maguire, perfect fucking Peter Parker, because Peter Parker is a fucking dork, and he's clueless a lot of the time, and that's how he's supposed to be played, you know.
Yeah, Andrew Garfield was like some wannabe pretty boy.
Yeah.
Like
Andrew Garfield.
He gets the girls.
Yeah, Andrew Garfield is too handsome and is too cool to play Spider-Man.
Every time he talked about science in the movie, I was just like, this guy just he's reading, like, he had to practice his script. He doesn't know what he's saying.
In The Amazing Spider-Man, he's like skateboarding and shit, and like.
But then, like, the next scene, he's in a fucking Oscorp lab.
Yeah. But he's like too cool. Like, Peter Parker doesn't fucking skateboard.
Like, yeah.
You know, he's like a homebody. You know, but like in Amazing Spider-Man, right? In Amazing Spider-Man, he's sort of a dick too about everything.
Yeah.
He's a little brat.
Have you guys ever read the original Spider-Man comics?
No.
They're really hard to read because he's such like a fucking nerd. It's like gee whizlikers.
Yeah. I mean, like, it also has like that whole, you know, language to it.
Yeah,
but
it
is still
like,
pretty. Yeah.
It was
the time.
Yeah, but like I picked up the whole like first collection or whatnot, and I was just like,
why?
No, it was like one of those collected things, and it was like had the first like 100 issues, and I was like, okay, cool, I'll read. I was like, man, it's rough.
The only, I think the only collection of like compilation of Marvel comics I have, I bought the Old Man Logan, like whole, are they called compendiums?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah. Something like that. I don't know. But the whole collection, that was badass. But Spider-Man, it's tough.
Now, Ultimate Spider-Man, that's a different story. That's pretty good.
But let's go back to Spider-Man 3.
Sorry. So, honestly, I thought it was really bad when I was a kid. Like, when I went back and watched it today, I didn't think it was as bad as I played it out to be in my head. It was actually pretty decent. What I think ruins the movie, to be completely 100% honest with you, is Topher Grace. Like, that was the worst part of the movie, and I think that totally kills the movie.
Yes,
and also the whole, like, the portrayal of the symbiote, how it, like, messed up Peter Parker, and he just became, like, yeah, he becomes a dick, but, like,
more
just
like
a
edgy,
cringy, edgy dick. Like,
the hair comes down.
Yeah, like, just that portrayal alone was just like, alright, come on.
Yeah,
and, like, the Hobgoblin design, it was like, okay, I can get past that. But, like,
no.
Topher Grace Venom was the worst thing. They didn't even do a voice for Venom. It was just fucking Venom with Topher Grace voice.
Like,
and I was so stupid.
Remember the sounds he'd make you be like, ah!
Yeah.
Like when he's attacking people?
I found it out. That's actually a Tasmanian devil. They just got sound bites from a Tasmanian devil and put it in.
Wow.
And that was Venom.
Really? Like, let's find the most obscure animal.
Yeah.
You know what's
Let's
really
put a
funny?
kookaburra.
You know what's really, really funny?
What?
The Venom suit from the movie Venom and the Venom suit from Spider-Man 3 are practically the same looking in terms of, like, CGI. Like, the CGI is so fucking bad in both movies. Like, when the trailer dropped for Venom, I was like, oh, this looks nothing. It does not look better than the one from Spider-Man 3. That's what I thought, you know? And I still hold true to that.
The bulkiness and the mouth features are better, but in terms of, like,
everything,
like, looking at it and you're like, that's just CGI. Like,
yeah, you're like, that's just Spider-Man 3 fucking with updated HD graphics. That's all it is.
Yeah, dude, Spider-Man 3 is just like, I have so many things. Like, just the glider suit for, like, Harry Osborn.
Yeah,
he looked like a fucking snowboarder.
Yeah,
like,
he looks...
I was like, the fuck is this? The whole origin story of the symbiote, like, it just...
The way it just... Like,
It's
the way it just
fucking
fell,
fashion.
like, when they're in the...
Right next to Peter Parker.
They're just, like, in the middle of the woods.
Yeah, and he's, like, hanging out in his web with Mary Jane.
Yeah,
and
they're
just like,
you know, getting a little sexy. And
Okay, so, like, the thing is, the symbiote doesn't even pop up till, like, almost the end of the movie.
Yeah,
it's
like,
just chilling out in Peter Parker's room.
Yeah, it's like, it's just, like, you don't hear anything from it. They just forget about it. And then it's like, oh...
Like,
I like how he doesn't really question why his suit's black. He's like, whoa, it's black now.
Oh,
cool.
Yeah. Wait, going with that, guys, when he gets the black on his suit, it goes on his suit. But then he has two suits, one that's black, and then he has the normal suit.
Yeah, that was another
That doesn't
thing.
make any sense.
Because he rips off the black one and then he's like naked, right? In the bell tower?
That's later though. Because remember before that, he goes to his closet and he sees like the black suit sitting in there, but he's wearing the normal suit.
Maybe he is just wearing,
yeah.
Maybe he's just wearing 2 layers or something.
That's
wearing 2
suits.
yeah. When it first goes on him, it's like 2 suits, and then he takes the second one. He's like, oh, the first one's still there.
Unless he made multiple suits, but
maybe.
like
That's
I don't think so.
But okay.
The origin for Sandman sucks too.
Actually,
he's a little forced.
I liked
Sandman. No.
He's a best villain.
What I did like was that the whole part about his daughter and everything that was really touching and cool.
He's like, I'm not a bad
but just
guy.
like but just his cheesy like one-liners where it's like you have this intimate scene with him and his daughter giving him a necklace, and then he hops out the window. He's like, I'm not a bad guy, and then he just fucking leaves and gets stuck in like some sand fucking facility.
He's still like, but he's a good character. I think he's a legitimately good character. I think he's played really.
They just gave him really bad lines.
To be honest, the Sandman was a good part. Like the entire movie wasn't that bad of a movie.
No.
Although when I was watching it, it felt really long. It's 2 hours and 19 minutes, but 19? But I had to take multiple breaks during this because it was just like, God, I feel like I've been sitting through this for like another hour and a half. And I'm like, the symbiote hasn't even popped up, and I feel like I've spent like a good 3 hours into this already. Like, I have stuff to do today. Like, I can't sit through this.
Honestly, like, one of the best things from Spider-Man 3 is just that YouTube video of the whole dance scene.
Without the music.
But without the music, that is the best.
I think this movie, like, I'm very happy it exists, because if it didn't exist, we wouldn't have things like that.
Just this whole franchise.
What do you mean?
Like Tobey Maguire.
Like the no music when he's like,
like memes and stuff.
Yeah, the memes.
Yeah.
Okay.
They make it worthwhile to me.
Even like the first two, like pizza time memes and all that.
Pizza time.
I will say I did laugh quite a bit once the Bruce Campbell cameo came up, and he's like in the restaurant.
That was funny. I thought
that was great.
I like how he's like really like buddy with Peter too. He's like, yes, Monsieur Parker. Yes, we will get that for you. And it's all this
I
shit.
like this kid.
I thought that was great.
Yeah.
And I love Aunt May. The actor for Aunt May is
fucking like clueless.
Great.
Yeah.
And J. Jonah Jameson.
Great.
That is one of the best things.
So literally, the casting for like all the original characters were great.
Did they have J. Jonah Jameson in the Homecoming?
No,
he wasn't. They didn't even have the Daily Bugle.
Yeah, like they were going to actually bring J.K. Simmons back just to be J. Jonah Jameson.
He has to be.
Like when they announced Spider-Man, it was already after he had accepted the role of Officer Gordon or Commissioner Gordon for the Justice League movie. So he's gonna be Commissioner Gordon in all those. So he couldn't accept the J. Jonah Jameson, even though he really wants to do it.
Fucking bad movies.
Yeah. So they just didn't write him in. So like hopefully like they'll put him in there.
The casting was really good. Like, honestly, now looking back at it, like Tom Holland's a mix of like Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire.
But a good
mix. He has like the actual, because no offense, like obviously I'm not fucking physically ripped myself, but like Tobey Maguire was still like, he kind of buffed up, but he's not like super toned like Spider-Man is supposed to be. And he had the nerdy stuff on lock.
Yeah.
But Andrew Garfield had the body, but was just a fucking mess. Like I hated him. And so like Tom Holland was just a good mesh of those two. Yeah. But man, Spider-Man 3 is just
Spider-Man 3 is fucking hilarious.
It's
like
funny.
you
just this whole franchise.
You have to appreciate it for at least the laughs. Cause dude, there's so many funny parts in that movie.
Yeah.
Like when James Franco is fucking getting pie and the waitress goes, "Here's your pie," or "How's your pie?" And he's like, "So good." Like it's so fucking funny. Like he's such a dick.
Do you guys remember the part where he's like running into the final battle and he stops in front of an American flag just waving?
Oh yeah. It's just like Spider-Man.
American.
Wow, New York.
Hero.
Yeah.
I like
I like when he hits a fucking pole.
There's so many people hit pole, like their faces just get clotheslined in this movie.
By poles, yeah.
Yeah, that's like, there's like 4 times that happens.
Yeah.
I like the little subplot where fucking Harry, like, loses his memory. He's just like a fucking goofball.
Yeah. He's like, hey, Harry, I haven't seen you in a while.
Like, hit me on the head.
How you doing? yeah, that's an actual thing. I like how there's a fucking scene where him and Mary Jane are making omelets.
Yeah, and then he like flips it and spills some. Yeah.
We can still use this.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then like, okay, so here's another thing. Like, so he totally lost his memory, and he's totally like, he's already gone the Hobgoblin route. He's already like tried to kill Peter Parker and everything. And then like at the end of the movie, when like after they fought and like pretty much destroyed his apartment and everything. And Peter Parker comes to him and is like, you gotta help me save Mary Jane. He's like, no. He's in his dad's laboratory, and then his fucking butler comes out and he's like, he just tells him, he's like, he just comes out and he's like, yeah, your dad did kill himself pretty much. So, do the right thing. It's like, why couldn't you have said that like at the beginning of the movie? Like, you just sat there and watched as like all this stupid shit happened.
Half of my face is ugly now.
Yeah, it's like, I'd be pissed. Like, what the hell? You knew all this and you didn't tell me? I wasted so much time, like, hunting down my best friend, like, trying to kill him, and you could have told me that.
In the deleted scenes, he kills him. You missed it.
The butler?
I don't know if it's Spider-Man 3, but in the deleted scenes, or something like that, it's in one of the movies, 1 through 3, but it's J.K. Simmons as Jonah Jameson, right? That's his.
Mm-hmm.
I always fuck it up. Anyways, it's him dressed up in the fucking Spider-Man costume, and he hops up on his desk and he's like flipping around, like pretends spider webs.
It's the second one because he throws away his costume and stuff. And
wait, that was gonna be in the movie.
That's a deleted
scene.
Yes.
It was in the second.
Oh, it wasn't a gag, like.
Yeah, no, because the second one, like, he stops being Spider-Man for a while.
Yeah, I remember.
And then he throws away his costume, so they take the costume and they give it to the Daily Bugle, so they have it hanging up in the office, so like he puts it on and he like jumps around the desk. Yeah. It's pretty hilarious.
Yeah.
They should have kept that.
He's like, Spider-Man, bring me pictures of Spider-Man.
Parker.
Yeah.
I need pictures of Spider-Man.
You're fired.
Dude, honestly, he's such, to me at least, an important character. Like, next Spider-Man movies or anything, like, I always have to see him. Like the Spider-Man game that came out, I thought he was perfect. Like,
yeah. Because I love how he kind of sounded like J.K. Simmons.
Yeah, even though he was in a podcast and you didn't see him physically, like, that was perfect.
He was still there, yeah. Like, whenever you were just swinging around and you were taking too long to get to the next mission, he's like, J. Jonah Jameson here!
Like, you gotta hear that guy's ramblings or else it just doesn't feel like Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Parker, give me some loot. I need to jerk off a bit. Fucking capture him in his like underwear or whatever.
Let me jerk off to Spider-Man.
That's another thing too. Was he in the Amazing Spider-Man?
No, he wasn't.
That's the reason why I hate it. There you go. That's the whole reason. There you go. Yeah, that and Jamie Foxx. That's two reasons.
It's my birthday.
Yeah.
I like how they made like a point in Spider-Man 3 where like the picture that Eddie Brock uses to get into the Daily Bugle is just like photoshopped. He's like, Spider-Man walks in, he's like all cool and shit. He's like, I found you out. And he fucking like flicks down these fake fucking photos of like Spider-Man. He's like, you've been found out, bitch. You're fired. And, like,
dude, I'm not gonna lie. He actually, like, Peter actually did become part of, like, Topher Grace was pretty bad. Like, he deserved what he got in that movie. But, like, Spider-Man was kind of a dick at one point. Like, he was just mercilessly, like, he took his girlfriend and everything.
He said to Gwen Stacy, yeah, go ahead, kiss me in that one scene. Yeah. And it's like, you're gonna fucking propose to Mary Jane Watson tomorrow.
That wasn't even him being a dick, though. He was just stupid.
Yeah, it was just like, what the fuck? Like, that's the cause of all
like,
the problems.
Spider-Man's clueless, but that was just retarded.
Yeah.
I don't know what that was. He was just like, yeah, the fans will love it. That sounds so creepy.
And even she was like, are you sure? And he's like, yeah, go ahead. And I'm like, what? I thought it was just something she did, and I didn't know that he was like, do it.
Really
and then he's like, Mary Jane, it was just for the fans, please.
Throughout this entire movie, you're like for the first half, it feels like there's nothing happening with him. He's just hanging around. But then, like when something does happen, it's just because he's a fucking idiot.
I mean, were you surprised? The movie starts off super cheesy too.
I know.
He's like, hey guys, it's your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
No, he doesn't even say that.
Or no, he
says
like,
it's your friendly neighborhood.
You know.
Oh,
yeah, I was like,
oh god,
things are pretty great.
Yeah, he's like, everybody seems to like me.
Everything's going fine and dandy.
The Tobey Maguire movies, that's the one thing that you're right. Like the campy jokes are what sell.
Yeah, the campiness.
Just the whole fact where like everything just kind of fits. Like the jokes, for the most part, like the first 2 times you watch the movie, always hit because it's just like that one part where he's like, everything's going great, and the little kids are like watching him on the screen, and he's like, wait, it's gonna come back on. Don't you guys want to see? And they're like, nah, they fucking leave. Or like, it's Spider.
Fucking hate Spider-Man. Decided it right
Sam
now.
Raimi's style is to be
Yeah,
like
or
campy
like,
and stupid.
was it Spider-Man 2 or 1 where he's like delivering pizzas as Spider-Man?
2. That's the second.
Does it fucking matter?
Scene, and then the whole like elevator scene, that was just fucking the jokes are just
when he walks in with
Yeah,
the suit
yeah,
on,
yeah.
he's like, oh, that's a pretty nice suit. Where'd you make it?
Or where'd you get it?
Or where'd you get it?
Yeah.
It's like really long too. It's like 40 seconds.
Yeah, it's really like, kind of awkward. And then I don't know, man. Like just that whole like definitely is always gonna be a legacy for me. Like that whole Tobey Maguire. I did kind of hate how what's your name? Kirsten Dunst, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I did hate how she was talking shit about Tom Holland Spider-Man.
She was?
Yeah, I think that was a thing when it first came out. She said that like it wasn't her Spider-Man, or like it's never gonna live up to what they had, or like
can't live penis.
Yeah, I was like,
it's not a very.
I was like, no offense, like no, really no offense. Like MJ's a really important character. Like I like the character, but her portrayal of MJ is not really like the most memorable.
It's
I don't
just
really like
there.
the portrayal.
It was really weird. Like the very first movie, she's like this like wannabe cool girl that's like has the trouble issues. Then she becomes like this really sophisticated girl that doesn't have time for Peter Parker, and it's like I want to live out my own life.
And then the third one, she's like, I mean, yeah, her whole thing in the third one is kind of like justified. Like, yeah, Peter Parker won't listen to her problems and stuff like that. But still, like, she's not even telling him.
Yeah,
she's just playing like no offense, but like she's just playing that whole game where it's like the chick doesn't tell you anything. You just gotta know, and it's like, God, like I hate that so much.
I like how he mentions like, oh yeah, and then we'll go see her play. And she's like, I got fired, and he's like, what?
Yeah. Her thing was that she just looked like Mary. Like MJ.
Yeah, no offense,
yeah.
Like that's her whole thing.
I mean, Kirsten Dunst is a great actress. She's really great in other movies, but in the Spider-Man,
she's no offense, one of the least memorable. Like honestly, I can remember more like J. Jonah parts than like Mary Jane parts. Like the fucking Spider-Man 3 when he's trying to get pictures of like the whole like fucking rampage battle.
Oh yeah, and he buys the camera.
He's like, what? Where's the bill? And
he's like, that's an extra $20.
Yeah,
he's like,
some of the best parts.
Yeah, like such a weird, like it's an emotional giant battle, and it just cuts to that, and he goes back to the battle.
I was like, okay,
dude, it's a good time.
Yeah. Shit. There's this one part where it's like Eddie Brock, and he's like taking photos at an agency, I think, of Gwen Stacy, right?
Oh,
isn't that a part?
Okay, so that's the part where like, okay, so Gwen Stacy's like randomly at a photo shoot or something like
right,
that.
Yeah.
And then
in an office building?
Yeah. So
that's so weird.
This is actually a point that I was going to bring up because it doesn't make any sense. So this crane falls and breaks just that floor of the building. So then she's hanging off the side of this building. And the cop shows up, and it's her dad, and she's like, "Huh?"
Oh,
and then the boyfriend shows up, Topher Grace, he's like, "Oh God, it's Gwen Stacy," and he's like, "What?" And then it's like, "Oh my God, she's hanging off the side of the." I'm like, if your daughter was hanging off the side of a fucking building, would that be your reaction? Oh, like, "Oh God,
wait.
she's off." She's hanging off. What? Go ahead.
But what about Eddie Brock though? His is fucking hilarious. He's watching his girlfriend hanging off and taking pictures of her.
Oh yeah,
and he
that
asks,
too.
and he tells him, "Oh yeah, by the way, I'm dating your daughter." And he
Yeah.
it's about to fucking die.
Yeah, and it's like that's their reaction. Like both of their reactions were so like lackluster. It's like your fucking daughter, your fucking girlfriend is hanging off the side of a building.
Yeah, and
just
the
like,
sad part too is the cop would never even know that was Gwen Stacy if it wasn't for Topher Grace coming in and zooming in with this camera.
Yeah,
oh shit, that's Gwen
yeah.
Stacy.
And by the way, that's a pretty good zoom back for that day. So, okay, so then after that she falls and Spider-Man of course saves them. And then, there's no reaction from either of them. They're still kind of just like, oh, well, she was hanging off the side of a building. But what happens to that crane?
Oh.
Because he just drops her off, and then he just swings off. That crane, it showed the guy in the crane, and he's like, oh, God! And he goes off the side of the building, and the whole crane's, just spinning around insane, and it's destroying buildings.
I didn't even realize.
And Peter's just like, it's pizza time.
You gotta go, guys.
But
Bye.
I gotta see it.
He drops off Gwen Stacy, and then he just leaves, and I'm like, wait, what about the crane?
Oh my god, I never even thought about
No, seriously, go back and
That's
watch it.
horrible.
Okay, honestly, I love that better though. Now that I know about that, I love that better than that fucking crane scene in Amazing Spider-Man. Where they're all like,
they all
Spider-Man
guys.
They all turn the cranes.
And they're all like, no, we can swing there faster.
And literally the cranes are only a couple fucking feet higher than buildings. Spider-Man's lazy ass could have done it in the
He's like, I can do it now.
The only real one that he needed was the one at the very end to propel himself off. But everybody's just all the construction men are like,
yeah, but how convenient is that all those cranes
they're just in the
parallel.
That
that's
street
super
that street must really fucking suck. There's so much construction happening. It doesn't make any sense.
I think there was a mission like that in the new Spider-Man game where there's just a shitload of cranes and you can't touch the ground or something, and I'm like, wow, this sounds fun.
Oh,
this looks
wait,
really
are you talking about the Scorpion?
Yeah, when you're fighting Scorpion.
Well, good, but that's because you're in a NASA trip.
Yeah, but still, it's all these cranes.
It kind of reminded me of that.
I didn't like that.
Anywho.
But no, Topher Grace had a lot of shitty, but okay, memorable, but not in a really good way. But he had a lot of shitty one-liners, the whole part where he's holding or I think he's pretending to drop MJ, and then he's like my spidey senses are tingling, and I'm just like, oh my god.
Or how the face pulls back and he's still got the teeth, the little sharp teeth.
He's got
the
this weird crap
veiny thing. Yeah. His character in that fucking movie is just so terrible.
He was the opposite of what Eddie Brock is supposed to be.
Yeah, he has no likable qualities.
It's funny how badly his character was fucked up.
You
couldn't have chosen someone completely
he just doesn't care. He's he wants to kill people, but in the comics he's preventing the symbiote Venom from killing people. He's we're not gonna kill. Okay, I want to kill Spider-Man, but we're not going to kill any civilians. We'll just kill, bad people. And then in this one, he's like, fuck it, let them all die.
Think about it. If Venom was not in this movie, it would be a much better movie.
Yes.
Because if Topher Grace was not in it,
there's. Have you heard what Sam Raimi has said about this movie later on, after reflecting on it?
No, I haven't heard.
So he said that the reason that movie was so bad is because he was forced to put Venom in the movie by Sony. I think it was Sony. But yeah, he was forced to put Venom in the movie. He didn't understand Venom's character at all. He didn't he knew that. He's I don't understand him. You guys are making me put him in there. That's why there's three bad guys in the movie. There's this overload of bad guys.
Yeah,
that's actually
that makes sense. Yeah. So that
he acknowledges that he ruined Spider-Man movies.
Well, it wasn't his fault then. It was more or less the studio's fault for that. But he still could have read up on a few comics of Venom, because Venom's not that deep of a character to really.
Yeah, I mean,
if you just seen if he went and read Venom's first appearance and a bunch of other Venom stuff, maybe six comic set of Venom, totally could have gotten
You just
it,
look at a
least.
picture of Venom. You just look how big he is. He's bulky.
Yeah, he's like, oh, he
beefy
must
guy,
be
you
a
know?
100% bad.
Honestly, the fucking Sandman could have played Venom.
Yeah, like they could have switched.
He honestly does kind of look like Eddie Brock in the comics.
Yeah.
Like that meathead looking type.
Like I said, the Sandman.
I'm not a bad guy.
Well, yeah. The Sandman was not that bad of a character. He clearly understood Sandman, and I think if he understood Venom, like how he said he would have, it would have been just as good. Like because like the part where he's like in the sand collider or whatever, and he's like trying to hold on to the chain with his daughter's
and then
face
he comes
in it.
back up and he can't hold it.
Yeah, that's fucking sad. That was
sad.
good.
Okay, going back to Sandman though, with how he was like created. Remember when they're just like, oh, it's probably just some birds, and then like it's like this. Think about the experiment they're doing, okay? And there's just like one small chain link fence.
Yeah.
And then they're
There's
not
like
even,
no cameras.
They're not even checking if they're like, oh, it's birds. Like if this does that to a person, you gotta think, okay, if it's birds, these birds can end up fucking
fucking birds.
Sand birds killing everybody.
Fucking gar birds just roaming around.
Gar
Naruto shit. No, what's crazy that I didn't even, does it even explain how he gets there? Because he's just in New York and then
he's like running away.
He
from
just appears like in a facility that looks like it's in like Las Vegas or some shit like that.
Yeah, he's like running away from the police and he like runs, goes over the fence.
He's kind of run clear.
No, but was that facility just behind his fucking house or like what?
Maybe, yeah, I think so.
His like location was really
the location was weird.
Okay, on the topic of locations, do you remember that first Sandman Spiderman fight in the train station?
Yes.
And then it goes into that weird like
the pipe,
300 foot deep like pipe thing, and there's just train tunnels going through this whole thing.
How train tunnels
it's like, what is that thing? What is the purpose of that? Like, there's water pipes and stuff in there, but why the fuck is that there? There's just train rails
just
going
like
through
on
it.
scaffoldings, like dangling.
Yeah, like that location made no sense whatsoever. Yeah, like I was like, where did this come from?
I actually felt bad for Sandman when he was melting him.
Because he was just being a
now
dick.
that is a brutal like Venom type Spider-Man. Because like in the comics or even in the TV shows for kids, like when he's taken over by Venom, he's not a dick person. Like he has his one-liners because Spider-Man's known for one-liners, but he's like how they portray it is that he's violent. Like there's a part in I'm not gonna say eras. I don't know if it's a '90s Spider-Man, but there's a part where he legit almost kills Shocker. Like he's.
Oh, it was that video that I sent you guys the other day. Remember? He was like, "Shocker!"
Yeah, he's legit gonna kill Shocker.
I'm coming for you.
Yeah, like in this kid's like show, but in the movie, he's just like,
he's just snapping down the
I'll hunt you till the ends of the earth.
Dude, like it was intense.
Remember how much of a dicky was when he danced in front of MJ?
Oh yeah, that was so cringy when he was
Gwen
dancing in front of
Stacy.
MJ and he's like just winking at MJ. He's just like popping his collar. And
Yeah,
he's
he's
just
playing the piano and dancing
Yeah.
around like,
Oh
what
yeah,
fucking dick.
he plays piano so well.
And
He's
she's like, is that for her?
And then everybody's just there,
Yeah,
and then like there's just like they just insert like this random like black pianist guy that's just like, just so stupid, like
fucking John Legend from La La Land.
I was like, what is this scene? Like, and then like I hated the whole mixed reaction of like when he was passing by the girls and like doing those finger guns. And like some of them would like do a double take and give kind of like a sexy look. And then some of them would just be disgusted like, the fuck is what are you? Like Jesus Christ. And just the whole like, oh my god, just I remember watching for the first time, the only thing that symbolized that Peter Parker was consumed by Venom was the hair.
The
fucking hair.
It goes down and you're like,
so
something's
bad.
going
I like how he's really mean to the fucking like tenant.
That was.
that was kind of sad.
I felt genuinely bad for him. Like,
and then he was like hoeing around with the daughter.
Yeah, he's like, he's a good boy. And then he's like, hey, why don't you get me some more of those cookies? Or like, no, like,
give me cookies.
Give me cookies.
And
he goes on the phone.
Literally, like he's like on the phone with Dr. Connors, and he's like giving some like insane plot points, like, buddy, you don't want to touch this. Is like, this is for the audience though. And he's just like,
Yeah, he's like,
Yeah, he's like, it's just my fucking math teacher.
Yeah.
Fuck this guy.
Yeah.
He's missing an arm.
Yeah.
Also,
certified amputee.
he was like only put in there for those parts. This is
Yeah,
not the
that's
doctor.
the thing
Like,
I
there's
hate.
nothing else.
That's
that
the thing I hate
like,
with Dr. Connors.
It didn't like
it was
wrap up
building-
with them or anything.
I mean,
yeah, but like he was in the second one too, and they were like building up to the lizard.
Yeah, and he never transformed.
Yeah, which the fourth one was supposed to be the lizard and black cat.
Okay, but I'm gonna be honest. With the time like that those movies were coming out, I'm kind of glad it didn't come out because I just imagine the CGI for the lizard. Like Jesus Christ, it probably would have been. It either would have been decent or just really bad.
I think they could have figured it out because they did a decent job with the CG on the Doc Ock arms. They did a decent job
the
with
Doc
Sandman.
Ock, yeah,
Doc
the Doc
Ock
Ock
arms
arms
were
were
really
awesome.
Yeah,
I love.
Actually, that CG fight with Sandman went before they hit the like giant tunnel. That when he's smashing him into the train, that was cool.
Yeah, and
that
then like
really cool.
even the end with Venom, like after he's off of Topher Grace and he's just this big hulking thing. Like it kind of looked like the Venom from the comics and stuff like that. Like if you kind of look at it,
it was
and
super glossy, but
yeah, the CG wasn't that bad. Like especially for that time, so I think they could have pulled off a lizard. Like as long as it was not like the fucking Amazing Spider-Man Suicide Squad lizard. If it was like the legit, like crocodile, like crocodile look with this big thing, yeah, they could have pulled it off.
Fucking snub nose crocodile.
Yeah, seriously.
I think it's funny how Topher Grace just fucking blew up at the end.
That's another thing that I want to bring up. Like, okay, so when Peter Parker and Harry Osborn they fight, and he throws the grenade at him, and then he just launches the grenade back. That grenade blows up right next to his face, and all he has is that little burn. So at the end of the movie, when he throws the grenade at Venom and he jumps in with Topher,
it's gone. It's
he blows up, and I went frame by frame because I thought I saw the skeleton of Eddie Brock. I went frame by frame. There's 6 frames in that explosion where it's literally just his skeleton.
Here's
Jeff,
here's my theory. I got a theory. So, what if that like gas chamber that he went into makes him more immune to those explosives because he uses them all the time?
Didn't that shit just make him insane though?
Maybe that was like
it was
part
like a
of
really
it.
basic super
a little bit stronger.
soldier like serum, but it had like a lot of faults in terms of like mental and insanity.
Yeah.
Because one thing that I always remember from the first one was just what's the actor's name for Green Goblin?
Oh,
that whole part where he gets into the chamber and it's like filling his lungs and he's like shaking and shit, and then he like jumps out the window and like breaks out. He's like, he's like squatting. He just kills his fucking assistant.
Yeah, Willem Dafoe. That's it.
Oh yeah.
And then in this movie, he just like pumps it up and he's just like,
he just walks out like as if he just like injected steroids into his ass. Like, he's just like, my dad was a bitch. It was really random, dude. And that was weird too. Spider-Man 2, that very end scene where fucking Peter just drops off, or no, Spider-Man 1, right? Where he just drops off the dead body of his dad, and he just looks at him and he's just like, and runs away, like no comment at all. He's just like,
see ya.
Yeah,
just dropping something by,
Yeah.
Oh, it's my
dad.
And he's like, Daddy.
He's like, I found this.
Daddy, why you sleepy?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. He doesn't he like approach the dead body? He has like the suit on, right?
Well,
the Green Goblin suit.
He like goes up to him, and he's like, Dad, wake up. Doesn't he do something like that?
Yeah, I think.
I don't know.
I know that there's.
Dad.
I know that there's just like this one scene where it's either Peter Parker or the Green Goblin. They're just like sitting there, and then like. And this is in Spider-Man 2, and then like fucking Harry Osborn, James Franco's is like, time to see who Spider-Man is. He's got like a knife in his fucking hand, and he takes it off. He's like, oh,
It's Spider-Man 2.
He's gonna fucking space my friend.
Okay, my friend killed my dad.
Yeah,
let me let him live. I'll kill him in the third one.
Yeah.
Wait, didn't he? Okay, in Spider-Man 1, obviously the Green Goblin, right? He did a bunch of shit and it was on the news and whatever. In Spider-Man 2, Harry was bound to have seen his father
yeah.
doing really bad shit, just killing people, right?
Yeah, there's
And
that
he
one
finds
part where
his
he
body.
blows up those two old
Yeah.
guys like on the top of the terrace.
Yeah. Okay, so Harry finds his dead dad, alright?
In the suit.
Knowing, at least watching one thing from the news. He has to. It doesn't have, whatever, it didn't show it, but come on. One thing, he might have seen one thing. It's a big thing in New York if like a superhero is going around or a supervillain.
I think you're expecting too much.
But no, like when he be like, yeah, my dad's dead, but he did a bunch of bad shit. He fucking killed me.
Please tell me it wasn't stated that he's Hobgoblin.
Well, I think
right?
I think he's New Goblin.
Yeah, he's
it's something
New
like that.
Goblin, not
It's
Hobgoblin.
Because like he did have some cool weapons. Like he had that green sword, remember that?
Oh, yeah.
Like some like
that was
upgraded like grenades.
Yeah.
But the whole suit just fucking sucked.
He looked like a snowboarder.
Yeah, he looked like one of those like PS2 era games where it's like snowboarding. Yeah.
Extreme.
Extreme. Yeah. Like he looked like that. And then that one part where like they had to like emphasize that it's a snowboarding machine because like there's like Peter Parker swings through like these two buildings and he's like, oh shit, and he like hits his board and it turns sideways and he's like going through the building. I was just like, he could have just turned, like he just fucking smacks his board. It's just I don't know.
It's like Sonic Riders or something.
I love James Franco in the Spider-Man movies. So fucking hilarious.
I love that sarcastic wink he gives Peter after he meets the fight. He's just such a dick.
He's just like the UPS truck passes and he's gone. It's like he doesn't question it why he's gone.
I totally forgot that he was kind of a dick in the first one too. There's that one part where they first go into the laboratory where like Peter's about to get bit, or like the museum, and he's like trying to spit game to MJ, and then like Parker, he goes through the bite. He like goes through the whole like fighting Flash Thompson at school. And then he's like has his own thing, and finally you come back to like James Franco, and then like after Uncle Ben dies, and then he starts living with James Franco, right? And
something like that.
Yeah, but then like he finds out through I think the dad that James Franco is dating MJ.
Yeah.
Or I forgot who he found out through. Both MJ. I guess him and MJ weren't really friends. But like James Franco just doesn't like acknowledge it. Yeah, he's just like, oh, that's my best friend's longtime crush, but
fuck you.
But I'm a dick, so you know.
Yeah, I kind of want to go back now and watch the first and second one because like there were parts in the third one where like, oh yeah, I kind of remember something alluding to that.
I feel like nostalgia is like poisoned my mind on those movies, like so I don't really remember like how the movie really is, you know?
Yeah.
Because it's been so long.
I want to see number 2 because I rewatched number 1.
Yeah.
I didn't finish all of number 3 before I came here today, if I'm being honest. But I want to rewatch number 2 because I think that one had a lot of good one-liners too. Like there's that one scene where Doc Ock fucking has like Aunt May in his hands.
Yeah.
And he like drops her and he's like Butterfingers. And it switches to like Peter all serious. He's like slow motion glass.
I legitimately enjoy the Doc Ock character. I think the actor they got for him was great.
What's his name?
I don't know. That's why I said the actor and not his name.
He's a pretty established actor though.
He's been in a couple other things and it's been pretty decent.
He's great.
What's his name? Paul Giamatti, I think.
Oh God. Rhino.
Oh my God.
Rhino.
Oh my! Don't even get me started. Fucking Amazing Spider-Man 2. In the trailer, you see Rhino. And I'm like, okay, a mecha rhino, that is badass. I'm kind of almost literally at the end. And all you see is Spider-Man throw a fucking like Ninja Turtle sewer like top at him. And the movie ends.
I like how he was gonna fucking like kill a kid dressed as Spider-Man too.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, you were like Spider-Man?
Yeah.
Fucking like he's gonna ram him.
Yeah.
What the fuck, dude?
Remember how easily there's like this whole like police line and the kid just runs underneath and just like stands in front of him.
Yeah, the police line's got to get better in movies because there's so many people pass by them.
You know what I don't get? Go ahead, actually. Go ahead.
Okay, I was gonna say the police line at the end of Spider-Man 3. What the fuck? Like, they're all like right underneath with giant sand.
I was about to say that. Yeah. What's the deal with Spider-Man movies and fucking people just watching the danger happen from a little bit afar?
Seriously.
Like it's Amazing Spider-Man when they're fighting in in New York, right? In Grand Central Station, is it? Or
Yeah.
I don't know. It's that place with the giant fucking light up billboard with the Coke bottle.
I mean,
Times Square. Yeah, it's Times Square. And like, there's like a police blocking, and then it's just a bunch of like people going.
Like, they're just crowded there.
It's like the police are treating it like it's like an event. Like, come on, come watch.
He's like, just don't pass the line.
Yeah.
And then you just see Rhino with a fucking machine gun on his arm.
Everyone's just
like,
like,
whoa, the police
Yeah.
save us.
He literally could just turn around and just be,
Or in Spider-Man 3 when they're fighting on a high rise and anything could fucking fall down and fucking kill you.
There's like cars.
Yeah, Topher Graves drops a taxi that she was in and like that giant. Yeah.
They're like,
They're like, come on, Spider-Man!
I want to die.
Seriously, there's like a giant sand monster, like a giant sand monster, like right
He's
there.
got fucking construction equipment
everybody's
in
like
him.
literally more worried about Spider-Man because there's that one scene where like Sandman's just beating the shit out of Spider-Man on a pole and everybody's just like, oh, Spider-Man, oh, Spider-Man. And it's just like, in real life, dude, like, what the fuck? I would not have any kids around there. Like, Jesus
I don't know. Then
Christ.
again, it is New York. Like, New York has a really crazy vibe when it comes to the people.
Yeah.
Like, those people, like, when they get behind something, they're like, they get behind it. They don't mess
care.
around.
Yeah,
like, their
that
sports
is
teams.
True, that is true.
Like,
Yeah, but
when I took a
No, that
trip
is
there
true. Like,
in 8th grade with the kids, like, these kids started making fun of their sports team, and the entire fucking restaurant we were in was like threatening those two kids in my class. And like the chef came out from the kitchen with the fucking butcher knife, and he's like, "You better shut the fuck up about our sports teams." And then like the whole restaurant started cheering, and I'm like, I'm just sitting there like just watching. And I'm like, are any of the teachers gonna stop this? Like, my God, this is insane.
They're just like the teacher just taking his shit.
Yeah,
He's just
so like,
yeah.
I could see that. Like, if
He like comes out of the
Spider-Man's
bathroom,
fighting,
he's like,
and,
"What's happening?"
And all of New York City's like behind Spider-Man. Yeah, like I could see them 10 feet away from the danger, like bricks flying. They'll be like,
I guess.
"Whoa!"
But I mean,
Sure.
the cops, if they were maybe doing their job at least a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
I think that
And
they
then another like
away.
No,
another
they
thing
fucking
in the
start-
Spider-Man universe is just how much the cops hate Spider-Man. So it's just
Yeah.
like it didn't.
If
I
they
mean-
start like shooting up at like Venom and they like hit
Yeah.
Spider-Man.
Yeah, what if they just start fucking shit and like fucking Harry Osborn's just getting shot at. He's like flying on his glider trying to save MJ and he's getting like
Don't worry.
filled up with holes.
Don't worry, Spider-Man, we got this. He's like,
Yeah.
It's like, it's like not another villain. Bah, 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 bah.
Yeah, they're like, that's my friend.
Cops are just like, wait, we have guns.
Yeah.
Shoot the sand. Bah, 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 bah.
Yeah, like J. Jonah Jameson just like gets in on it. He's just like,
Goddamn Spider-Man! Give me those pictures.
He like crawls up the construction site.
Okay. Yeah, he's got like a GoPro on. He's like one of those guys that climbs up the buildings, like hangs off the edge.
Yeah.
He's like recording the battle.
He's like doing urbex, like fucking Mission Impossible. He's like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna get that picture of Spider-Man.
Yeah, he just has a GoPro and like a drone. He's just like he's just there watching.
Spider-Man dies. He puts on the costume that he had from the
Yeah.
trash. He's like, "There's a new Spider-Man in town."
Now I'm gonna be Spider-Man. I'll get pictures myself.
You know which guy I like too? Even like the small characters. I always thought that. I remember when I first watched it as a kid, Spider-Man. I thought that girl was super attractive. The clerk girl.
Oh,
that
at the
works
Daily
at the
Bugle?
Yeah, Daily Bugle.
That's
Elizabeth Banks.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's Elizabeth Banks.
Very attractive.
And then, and I even like that. You know, no offense to anybody, but the. Well, I don't want to say if he's like African American. But the black guy, the that works at Daily Bugle.
Yeah, the big
really
guy?
nice one that
Yeah,
like
yeah,
pops
yeah.
out. Yeah,
Yeah, that
even he
guy's
was
cool.
cool, and it was just like, I don't know. That's one thing that I really appreciate about like the Tobey Maguire movies. Was
They're
just,
like caricatures.
yeah, even
Yeah,
the
the characters
his
were
fucking
good.
boss at the pizza place where he's like, go! And yeah. He's like, you're gonna be late! Or something like that. And he's like, don't be late again! Or something.
You're always late.
Yeah, and that's the thing, like, the landlord at his apartment place is
yeah.
more of a character than like half the people in these
I felt
movies.
so bad for him.
But like literally, like I love how the secondary characters are like built in these movies.
Yeah,
Like
they-
you don't
they're
see that
awesome.
in many superhero
Fix
movies.
this damn door.
Yeah.
Hey,
He was good boy.
yeah. You call her up and you
Uncle
say,
Ben,
"You
I
are a
felt
good
like-
girl. I am good man."
Like Uncle Ben, Uncle Ben, like I totally fell for him. Like when like I know he's briefly in it, but I felt like he was my uncle. Like I
Yeah,
remember first watching
wait,
it.
dude,
I shot the tear that comes down.
yeah.
Just like,
I fucking love the flashbacks in Spider-Man 3 when he's like pounding on Sandman. He's getting the flashbacks, and it's just like it's the Sandman, right? As a regular guy, he's just like mercilessly shooting Uncle Ben from like his car. He's like,
Can we talk about Tobey Maguire's crying face?
Oh,
It's like
no,
Yes.
Tobey Maguire's face in
Yes.
general, like that train scene in Spider-Man.
Oh, yeah,
And then everybody's like carrying his dead body in the train, and they're all worshiping it.
They're like,
We won't tell anybody.
We won't tell
we
anyone
won't tell
this way.
anybody.
Damn straight, those New Yorkers probably told you, "Oh, hey, I know who Spider-Man is."
Yeah,
funny?
he's getting a
Wait,
hot
wait,
dog.
wait.
He's like, hey man, I know he's Spider-Man. He's
You know what's
Spidey,
fucking funny
keep it
about
up.
that? How the fuck would they know who Peter Parker is? They're just a bunch of random fucking people.
Yeah.
He's not like a notable person in the city or
Yeah.
anything. So he's just a kid. Like, that's it. They're like, oh, we won't tell anyone who you are. Like, you don't fucking know who I am.
It's like,
you
oh,
literally
he's
don't
Spider-Man.
know.
He's white.
He's
a guy.
Again, they could have followed him home.
Yeah,
they
you don't know what happened while he
could've-
was asleep, dude.
Oh, Spider-Man 4?
Mysterio puts him to sleep in Spider-Man 4. Wasn't a theory like Bruce Campbell is gonna be Mysterio? Like Spider-Man 4.
Christ,
something
the
like
Italian dude?
No,
Oh,
dude,
no,
Bruce
not the
Campbell
Italian.
was
He was the French dude.
He would have been
Spider-Man
such a
3.
good Mysterio.
Yeah, dude, he was in every single Spider-Man movie. He was the wrestling guy. He wasn't the.
Yeah.
The
He was the
announcer.
announcer guy
Uh-huh.
in the first one, and in the second one,
Who is he?
I don't remember who he was in the second one, but he had a big cameo like that in the second one, and then the third one he was the French.
In the second one,
manager.
wasn't he like a magician or something, or doing magic tricks or some shit like
He
that?
might have been. Yeah, like I want to go back and see them. But yeah, dude, that would have been so cool if he was Mysterio, and he was just there the entire time. He's like, I know you, Peter Parker.
Yeah.
Just kind of like there.
Is there any? Was there a Stan Lee cameo? There was. Right?
There was.
Oh,
yes.
hell yeah, yeah.
Wait,
The first
yeah.
one,
Was it?
it's
remember.
Spider-Man. I think he's in Times Square again, and he's looking at it like one of the jumbotrons. And
Yeah,
like,
he's
saying-
like, gee.
Yeah,
see,
he like drops a bomb of knowledge, and Peter's just like,
Yeah, the third one, it was like that. He's like, I really suppose people can make a difference.
Yeah,
And he's just like,
yeah.
dude.
It's just inserted in.
Okay, dude. Oh wait, have you?
What?
Ken, have you played the Spider-Man game?
Yeah, I play with
He
it.
watched
Dude,
it.
the
cameo?
Stan Lee cameo.
That was so great.
And
Yeah.
how, that was so beautiful. And then how, like, Stan Lee, his texture was, like
it
more enhanced than, like,
Yeah.
half of the New Yorkers that you
You could
swing
see
by.
every wrinkle on his face.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, you guys were always a perfect couple.
Yeah.
I
You
was
know
like,
what's
dude.
funny?
Like,
Yeah, it's funny. They made
oh,
a comic book. This isn't like at all related to Spider-Man 3, but they made a comic book series. Marvel did where they put. It's like a Marvel What If. It was like actually called What If, and there's this one story. Yeah, there's this one story where it's like Marvel. What if the people who were the Fantastic Four were the writers of the comic book? So like Stan Lee was like Mr. Fantastic, and everyone else was, you know,
dude, those What If stories are
yeah,
badass.
the Thing and
There's
Doctor
like,
Doom and stuff. It's
There's
really
one
cool.
where it's like, what if Venom took over like Deadpool? It's the craziest. Like, it's not like brutal, but it's just really like. I think there's one part where he has like a red Venom suit, but he has like black Jerry curls, and it's all over the place. Those what if stories are awesome.
Or it's like if Deadpool killed everybody in the Marvel.
Oh
universe.
yeah, those ones are cool.
Yeah.
Those
So
ones are cool.
you know how like Stan Lee's and everything. Have you guys seen any parts of Teen Titans Go?
Yeah.
I walked in on a theater check, and Stan Lee is in that movie.
The movie.
A lot. Or
Yeah.
like
No,
a
he
cameo?
does a cameo. Like as they're driving through the Warner Brothers lot, like Stan Lee just comes out of nowhere and jumps on their golf cart, and they're like, "Get out of here, Stan Lee! This is the wrong universe." And he's like, "But I like cameos,
Yeah.
Excelsior!" And then they're like, "Get out!" Like they're crashing because he's like on their windshield, and he's just like, "I'm StanLee," and then
What?
Yeah.
Fuck,
Yeah.
that is so.
Yeah,
That's
and
funny.
it was
That pretty
actually
good. That was
him.
pretty good.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. Okay. Dude.
Did you like how Stan Lee at one point was in Deadpool and he was like
Is that like a strip club? Or
yeah,
something?
he's a strip club owner or DJ or something.
Oh, yeah, he's
he's
like-
next is Felicity or something like that. Yeah. That's fucking funny.
Next is Cinnamon.
Yeah. Fuck, is it true? I I read it off of like a website, but like I'm not one to know like every single credible website, but that like Stan Lee has like filmed at least like I think 20 more cameos already, like even before the movie's
20?
Because if
he's like 90 something.
Like all respect to Stan Lee, like I love that guy. Like, dude, my two favorite superheroes would be Spider-Man. That's all Stan Lee, and then Hulk. But I'm saying Spider-Man is Stan Lee. I don't know. I don't think Hulk was necessarily all of Stan Lee's creation. But what's it called? Dude, he's getting old, man. Like he is, and so I think I could have sworn I like read something where he said, he was filming like his cameos for the next 20 films.
What do you guys think they're gonna do after he dies? And there's no more like, and they haven't filmed.
He's gonna be the next Friday.
They're gonna be like.
He's gonna be the next Jarvis.
Like you think they're gonna have like.
They might do like the Carrie Fisher CGI thing with him, maybe.
To like. I don't know. I feel like they wouldn't do that for like that'd be too much.
I feel like
work.
he signed something that
maybe they just have like a picture and they like hold on it for a second of him. I don't know.
Or maybe they'll all be dedicated to Stan Lee after he dies. It'll just in memory.
Or like there'll be a picture like in the Avengers movies only. There'll be like a picture of his like a picture of him in the Avengers Tower, just like randomly you kind of catch it off.
Yeah,
screen.
It's like an Easter egg.
I was able to like briefly meet him like at the LA Comic-Con last year for 2017. Dude, he looks totally just worn. I mean, like, he's a really nice. He's a really nice
like he's been going through a lot of health problems recently. Like,
honestly, I'm not trying to get into the topic. You know, I don't know the whole story, but like, it even made me sad when the whole like Me Too thing against him came out.
Yeah,
I was like, dude, he's 90. Like, I mean, you know, don't get me wrong. If you're old, doesn't mean you can't be held.
But still,
But like, I was like, it was just coming out of nowhere. And like he gave like this okay, again, I don't know the full story, but he gave like this really like sincere, heartfelt like live apology. It just made me sad. I was like, oh my god.
And you guys have heard how like his caretakers are like financially like abusing him and stuff.
And his dog.
And then Disney
and stuff like
that. Then Disney like covered it up, and they like told him to say like, oh no, everything's fine.
And like a bunch of people came out and they were like, "Yeah, Stan Lee, if you need somewhere to go, you can live at my house." Like Kevin Smith was like, he was like really big on that. He's like, "Yeah, I got an extra room. Come on over,
love
Stan
Kevin
Lee."
Smith.
Hang out.
Yeah,
I want Stan Lee to live with me.
But yeah, Spider-Man 3 was funny because it was campy.
Yeah, it's okay. I'm gonna still say it was a bad movie. I mean, I get your point. It had potential to be good, especially that insight on how he didn't know Venom. That makes it a lot more like understandable.
Some background.
But you know, as I would never own the movie, I still love that movie. Like it's a good time, especially with people.
So, you guys, after taking everything we said for this past hour, what would you rate it?
What's our rating system even?
Well, it'd be like out of 10, and then we'll just for the campiness, and we'll do this for every episode from now on. Out of 10 reels, how many would you give it?
That's really smart.
That's a really good idea, Ken.
All right. Adam, how many reels would you give it?
Okay, based on a movie, Jesus Christ, probably like 6 out of 10, but watching it with people that like know the Marvel universe and like just have a good laugh, 10 out of 10 movie, like good time, like it's funny, it's nostalgia.
You mean 10 out of 10 reels?
Oh yeah, sorry, 10 out of 10 reels. Did you hear that, America?
You know, this is America.
Oh my god. Okay. All right, Dale. Out of 10 reels, what would you give it?
Man, I like this movie, but I hate this movie. So
I think we're all in accordance.
I'm gonna give it a nice down the middle 5 out of 10 reels.
All right, Jeff.
So when I was younger, I would have probably given this like a 3 or a 4 reels.
You're a harsh critic.
Yeah, I know, right?
God damn.
No, I think I'm even worse now. But like, honestly, after rewatching it and like knowing Sam Raimi's style, knowing all this stuff about it, I'd probably give it like a 6 or a 7. Like, it's not the film. It's not the best movie, but like for what it is, it's pretty good. Like,
it's a good time.
If Topher Grace was out of it, perfect.
Just pretend, just like
You know?
re-edit the movie so he's not in it.
I'm pretty sure that's on
It'll be
YouTube.
okay.
If you look for it hard enough,
Yeah,
that's
I'm
probably
sure
on
it would
YouTube.
be a decent movie. So yeah, like I'd say 7. Yeah, 7.
7 out
is.
of 10.
As long as
Yeah.
they get in the Tom Holland series, fucking dude, imagine like Jim Carrey as like fucking Green Goblin. Or like some
That'd be
stupid
good.
shit
That could be
like
good.
That could be kind of cool.
What if Topher Grace came
Okay.
back?
Okay.
Kill me.
For me, I'm gonna give it, in terms of like a movie, in terms of cinematic art, probably like 4 reels out of 10. But regular, like just for entertainment and like fucking around and watching it with friends, 10 out of 10. It's fucking hilarious.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, so that was our show. Thanks for tuning in and listening. And here's looking at you, kid.
In case I don't see ya. Good afternoon, good evening, and good night.